To be precise, it's been 4,713,000,000 seconds we've been making watches. It all started in Le Brassus, a small village that went on to do rather big things. Thanks to its villagers, people as wild and stubborn as the very landscapes that surrounded them. People saying yes to challenges when reality emphatically said no. A family believing in the importance of taking our sweet time when the world chose otherwise. Focusing, crafting, dreaming. Together as one, we are possessed by an untamable desire to seek beyond the ordinary. A century and a half later, we're still that village. We're still those villagers. And the beat goes on.
Yo, what's up? OC with you bright and early on this Thursday morning, the 20th of March, 2025. Breaking news from Audemars Piguet this morning. Last night, they dropped 4 new models secretly and quietly, including 2 absolutely stunning smoked blue Royal Oaks. We have the exclusive on all the drops. First live stream to bring it to you. We will be going through all 4 of the new models in excruciating detail. Finally, AP has knocked it out of the park. 4 brand new special editions, including mind-blowingly smoking hot smoked blue models that will drive people insane. So let's see who we have in the chat on this very early Thursday morning. We've got Andy Lewis. What's up, Andy? Andy says, howdy, y'all. Thank you for being a member. We have Logan Hall's Grill Streams. You guys are at work. I get it. Logan Hall is second. Thank you for being a member. We have Carlos Martin in the chat. Be still my silly heart. Yep, new APs. Carlos Martin reminding everybody to upvote the live stream. We have BW, also a member, joining us from Florida. Good morning. Hey, we have Web1. I haven't seen Web1 in a couple live streams. Web1 very graciously and generously gifted 50 memberships a couple of live streams ago. Thank you very much, Web1. I did not forget. I do appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel. Only here will you get exclusive live content like you're getting right now. The first YouTube channel, actually first social media anywhere to break the news. I actually broke it privately in the group last night. We were on a team call around midnight last night, and I shared the news that I'd been tipped off that these 4 models had just dropped on the Audemars Piguet website. And we had a team call about it to discuss the implications, and boom, and now we're live bringing you the breaking news to the public. The only live stream, the only social media source with the news. Hey, we got SE from Germany, 4th. What's up, SE? Good to have you here. Let me just bring up another. Bring up something here. How do I do this? Video clips, overlay. I want to add an overlay. Let's see if this works. Sorry, I'm new to YouTube, guys. I'm very new to YouTube. Check that out. Boom. Look at this. I'm a semi-professional live streamer. Yeah, these are 3 of the 4 new models. There's a 4th one that I'll show you momentarily. But yeah, what do you think of that? Boom. These are hot. Super hot models. Who else do we have here in the chat? By the way, I don't have to tell you, upvote the live stream. Upvote the live stream. Hey, we got Julius Caesar, also a member. Web1, how can you gift 50 memberships and not be a member? That's fucked up. That's just cruel. Web1 gifted 50 memberships and he's not even a member. That's bullshit. But SE is a member and so is Julius Caesar. Good morning. Working from home today. A lot of people are working from home or retired or not working at all. We got Watch It's Brian in the chat. Hey, Matthias, co-CEO of the Watch Colony Channel Network. $5 super chat. Wow, he even financially supports his own network of channels. Fell asleep to OC streaming, woke up to OC streaming. Could it get any worse? Carlos Martin is the man. I agree. Thank you, Mathis. Thanks for the super chat. Unnecessary, but thank you. We've got CN in the chat. OC the boss. Let's make AP classy again. Sans klein Musik, plastic figurines, and fever dreams of beaches. I agree, CN. Let's make AP great again. And they are on the road to doing that with these hot new releases. Mike Cassio in the chat. He says, I rather like the Stone Code. Yeah, look at that. Check it out. It's Sodalite. Sodalite dial tourbillon. Code 1159 Sodalite tourbillon in white gold, I believe. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But if I keep this up on the screen too long, people will flame me. You want to see something else that's new? You want to see something else that's new? Check this out. Boom. Smoked blue Royal Oak chronograph. AP has knocked it out of the park, baby. And these will be available and affordable, by the way. Just got news this morning that these will be widely available and affordable. Okay, I made that part up. I need to send a quick text message real quick. Hold on a second. Bear with me for 2 seconds. This is an important... I'm sorry for the dead air, but it's important. I'm checking it with an AP source. Boom. Okay, that's it. All right, cool. Hey, we got Whole Milk in the chat. Whole Milk, who's not a member, but that's okay. By the way, if you do want to become a member, it's easy. I'll drop a link right in the chat. You don't even have to do any work. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm running solo today, guys, which means low quality content for the entire show. All right. Big missed opportunity not putting a Marvel character on the AP. Okay. Got it. Very funny. Very funny. It's the first day of March Madness. Oh, so everyone's like putting together their teams. Yeah, March Madness, the legal excuse to conduct all kinds of illegal gambling. Hey, look at this. Web1 became a member. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Web1 became a member. Guys, we have memberships starting as low as $200 a month. So please consider becoming a member. We got JB in the chat. We have Evan G. That's right. AP went full ombre. That's right. They call these smoked blue. But basically, yeah, they are the Evan G, proud new owner of the blue ombre Date 840 in white gold. Congratulations to Evan. Picked it up last week. We did a live unboxing of it a few days ago on the Watch Colony channel. Check it out. But yeah, it looks like AP is following in Rolex's footsteps. As you know, Rolex over the last 2 years has introduced. It started with the 96th Academy Award Special Edition? It wasn't a special edition, but they introduced the new rose gold smoked slate date, and then they followed it up with it was a slate ombre. Then they followed it up with brown ombre, green ombre, and blue ombre. Looks like AP is following in Rolex's footsteps with ombre dials. Whole Milk doesn't like it. Bad ombre. Bad ombre. Bad friend. Logan Hall says they are obtainable which equals impossible. No, I have it on good authority that these will be mass produced. These will be widely available. They will have probably 20 to 30,000 units available in the boutique starting on Monday. So check them out, guys. Call your AP sales associate right now. I know it's early morning for them. They're just getting into the store. They're just getting into the boutiques. But listen, there's nothing they love more than being completely bombarded with asinine messages from frantic, desperate customers. So listen, if they're going to get 300 to 400 text messages this morning because of this live stream, announcing the secret news overnight that AP has dropped new models, you might as well be one of the first. You might as well be one of those desperate, jealous, begging customers. Okay, I just saw that these just dropped. Is there any way I can get one? Hey, we got Jefferson Exotic, who's also a member. I love how even all people. I was going to say something. I wasn't going to use that word, the T word. I love how everybody in the audience is on their best behavior on the OC channel. Everybody's on their best behavior. That's right. Even Jefferson Exotic. He knows the rules of the game. Hey, we got Michael W. from Hamburg, Germany. Hey, OC, greetings. Logan Hall reminding everybody that $200 a month is an incredible deal when you consider the entertainment value that OC brings compared to Netflix, Prime, Hulu, and Disney Plus subscriptions combined. Yeah, it's $200 a month isn't chump change, but it's not bad for mediocre quality YouTube content. That's right. Mikey Cassio, also on his best behavior. I'm watching you, Mikey. The moderators, the great moderators. Mikey's actually a moderator. So listen, he's trusted enough to even have a wrench. So it's all good. Jefferson Exotic, not so sure. Not so sure about Jefferson Exotic, but he's being good in the chat. All right, do you guys want to go through these models? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, first of all, the link to join the panel is pinned at the top of the chat, but I will drop it again. If anybody wants to talk about these models, I will drop the link again. Boom. All right, number 2, upvote the live stream. Let's get to 15 likes. We have over 30 people watching. All right, let's get to the first one. This is the one everyone is going apeshit about. This is the new Royal Oak 15510 special edition in white gold with the smoked blue dial. Now, what do you guys want to know about it? Well, first of all, let's save the price for the end. It's 18 karat white gold. 18 karat white gold with a beautiful smoked blue grande tapisserie dial. It is 41 millimeters in diameter. That's the typical 41 millimeter Royal Oak size. 10.5 millimeters thick with 50 meters water resistance. It's the 15510. Now the dial is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful smoked blue grande tapisserie with darkened edges that extend all the way out to a silver gray inner bezel. That's the rehaut. The rehaut on the inside is a silver gray. White gold hour markers and the hands. White gold hour markers and hands filled with luminescent material. And of course, you have the 18 karat gold integrated bracelet with a 3-blade folding clasp. So it's the 15510 that we all know and love, but in white gold with the smoked blue dial. It's a special edition, and it's available to you in abundance and affordability for the low price of $65,800. $65,800. This is Royal Oaks for the masses, guys. I understand these will be extremely widely available. They should have tens of thousands of units available. Just call your AP boutique today. Tell them you want to pick one up next Monday, and they'll be waiting for you. Just have your wire or cashier's check ready. $65,800. These will be easy to get because AP wants to do you a solid. They want to put Royal Oaks in the hands of enthusiasts, and they want to make sure that you are rewarded for your loyalty to the brand. So if you want this piece, it's yours. Not a problem. Is it a special edition? Yeah, but you're special. Everybody watching is special. So It's a pretty good one. It's a good one. Now, what should we cover next? What should we cover next? Oh, let's go to the new code 1159. So this is the new code 1159 in white gold. It has a sodalite stone dial, and it is a tourbillon. It is a tourbillon. The code 1159 case is 41 millimeters in diameter. As with all code 1159s, this features a double curved, glare-proofed sapphire crystal and a glare-proofed sapphire case back. This is water resistant to 30 meters, 41 millimeters in diameter. It's 11.8 millimeters thin. 11.8 millimeters thin. That's the same thinness as a Rolex Daytona. So I know, like, you guys think, hey, maybe this is really thick. It's not thick. It is very, very thin. Let me give you a nice close-up shot here. Look at this. Check that out. The dial is natural sodalite stone with a complementary matching blue inner bezel with white gold hands. The bracelet is a blue textured rubber strap with calfskin lining, fitted with an 18 karat white gold 3-blade folding clasp. And it also comes with an additional blue alligator strap. So you can switch it out to alligator. This does feature the caliber 2950, which includes the flying tourbillon complication. Flying tourbillon, hours and minutes. It is an automatic movement, running at 3 hertz with 27 joules and 65 hours of power reserve. Pricing is upon request, but I understand these code 1159 tourbillons are not cheap. They're not cheap. This is probably well over 150,000. I would guess it's probably in the $200,000 neighborhood. $200,000 neighborhood. I want to say hello to Mal, who just joined us in the chat. Hello to also Tobister McDonkey. What's up, Tobister? If you just joined us, this is the original OC channel. Breaking news, AP has quietly dropped 4 affordable and attainable smoking hot models, including 2 smoked blue Royal Oaks. I know it's early morning, but is there any way we could get to 20 likes? You guys are being lazy. I know maybe you're busy at work. But please consider upvoting. All right. The next model we want to cover is this new AP Royal Oak Offshore tourbillon. Yeah, it's a chronograph, flying tourbillon chronograph offshore. It's insane, huh? This is a new drop from last night. This is the Royal Oak Offshore flying chronograph tourbillon, flyback chronograph tourbillon. This is black ceramic with titanium and burgundy details. The case is 43 millimeters. Black ceramic. Let me scroll down a little bit here, give you a little bit closer view. Wow. 43 millimeter case, 15.5 millimeters thick with 100 meters water resistance. 43 millimeter black ceramic case with a black ceramic bezel. It's a black ceramic pushers. Features a glare-proof sapphire crystal and case back. The dial is black titanium bridges adorned with polished burgundy accents, with 18-karat white gold hour and minute hands filled with luminescent material. The bracelet is interchangeable black rubber strap or an additional burgundy rubber strap. And it includes a titanium 3-blade folding clasp. Yep, black ceramic case with titanium. I don't know what the price is on this, but it's going to be expensive. Definitely expensive. And then finally, Royal Oak chronograph in smoked blue. Add yourself whenever you want. Let me go back quickly to this Offshore. Unfortunately, this is super expensive. Yeah, because it's a Royal Oak chronograph and a tourbillon. Buckley, good morning.
Hey.
What's up?
What's happening?
Not too much. Hey, we have Omar in the chat. What's up, Omar? Yep, so we got the 4 drops last night, including this one. It's, it's black ceramic with burgundy. What do you think?
I actually like it a lot.
Yeah, it's nice. But I don't know. I mean, whenever you put in, colors into the watch, like they have the burgundy accents on these bridges.
Yeah.
And, it's like, to me, it kind of limits. I'm kind of like OCD like that, or kind of like you. I mean, it's overwhelmingly black ceramic, so maybe it's not a big deal. You could wear it with anything. But I think the burgundy strap kind of makes it pop.
Yeah, I mean, this is a different segment of AP.
This is a whole different level.
We never talk about this area, right? This is like the $100 million and up man is buying shit like this. But, if you got the money and you want something that's different and you like the way they're going with the crazy stuff they're making, this is a very cool watch. I'd much rather take, what do you think this costs? 300? 250?
Yeah, over 200 maybe 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have this than like 95% of the RMs that are available. Plus, then you have the history with AP buying this. I'll bet on AP long term than over RM any day of the week. But I'll bet on Patek long term over both of them without question.
Yep. Sorry, I just had a Wi-Fi glitch, so I'm back.
Cool color, cool watch.
Cool color. Yep. Not bad.
I
Not
like
bad.
this little 4-piece that no one's even talking about. What they did is, dare I say, 10 times better than the initial release.
Yeah, this is the shit that we want to see.
I mean, the Blue Royal Oak, the 41 time only is Chrono too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's fucking. That might be the nicest Royal Oak I've ever seen. That blue color.
They knocked it out of the park, right? That's the kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a no-brainer. Like, hey, the blue ombre from Rolex is a big hit. What can we do? You know what? We can do blue ombre too.
In my opinion, because we have people that are on the AP journey.
We do.
Some of them are 2 watches, some of them are 4 watches, some of them are 8 watches deep. If you're waiting for something special and your SA offers you this and you turn it down, I think you've completely missed the plot. Completely. I think it would be is an absolute. If you like the 41 millimeter size and you like the Royal Oak, you want a special Royal Oak, and you're kind of like, if you know, and you're I don't know, let's say you're 3 watches deep and you're like, I'm waiting for a skeleton, or 4 watches deep, I'm waiting for a skeleton or a jumbo or whatever, and they've never given you a nod. You're just throwing your balls out there to see what happens. And they're like, hey, listen, we know you want something special. We're going to get one of these. We're getting one of these in 2025. I can give this to you. If you turn it down to be like a sand gold perpetual moron, you missed the plot of AP. You missed it. You don't understand. You don't understand the Royal Oak. You don't understand timeless design. And you should move to a different brand.
Yeah.
That's
This
a
is what
perfect
it's all
Royal
about.
Oak.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
perfect.
blue is very deep and rich and dare I say masculine, and just the pissery dial, the way they still do the engine turning on the pantograph or whatever that machine is called. The dial is awesome, and the way they decided to smoke it out to black on the rim gives it extra pop and contrast. It's white gold, so it's going to have mass to it. It's going to have heft.
The only complaint I have is the white gold.
Well, it makes it expensive.
It's not even that but if you think about it, it's not even that expensive. Like, I'm looking at the price, 65,000. I don't think that's that expensive for this. Compared to other things that they do, like, or other brands. This is, I mean, honestly, I don't know about the white gold because I've never tried on a white gold Royal Oak. I know rose gold, it pops, it's crazy. It's not the most comfortable watch. So I would prefer it in steel. But I'm sorry, gun to the head. One Royal Oak forever. You could never have anything from our brand again.
Mm-hmm.
This is a no-brainer. This thing is perfect. Literally the most perfect release, perfect watch I've seen since the blue ombre or the yellow gold, green ombre day-date last 1 year. This is the best release in the last 12 months.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Where was this? Like, why wouldn't they start with this? This is so much better than all that other garbage they came out with.
We got it. I mean, 2 weeks later, we got it. So they wanted to start with the tourbillons. I mean, with the perpetual calendars.
This is so good, OC. This is so good, OC, that if I was speaking with Patek and they were like, hey, listen, we're going to get you your watch that you're waiting for. You can have it in May, or you can have it in May of 2027, but you can have this Royal Oak in the meantime to hold you over for 2 years, I would take that deal. I would take this Royal Oak. I would delay the Patek 2 or 3 years just to have this Royal Oak.
Yeah, and let's not forget they also dropped a new
Not as crazy.
chronograph. Yeah, but if you have big wrists and you like complications, this is a banger too.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, but I would rather have the
Smoked
time
blue. Smoked blue Grun tapisserie dial, just like the time only one. But this one has the chronograph, flyback chronograph. It's 18 karat white gold, 41 millimeters in diameter, 12.4 millimeters thick, which isn't that bad. 50 meters water resistance. Has the 18 karat gold hour markers and hands filled with some luminescent material. It does have the date at the 4:30 in a color matched date wheel. Features the Royal Oak bracelet, 18 karat white gold with the 3 blade folding clasp.
Yeah. It's great. You say yes.
Yeah, you say. I mean, it's very, very expensive though, and then you're going to say, well, not for AP, which makes sense. But this is priced at $78,200. $78,000.
So is Vacheron. Vacheron Rose Gold Chrono is in the 70s, maybe even the 80s. I don't know.
78,000.
This blue color, though. I mean, here's the other thing too. We should say this. Their photos that they use out of the 3 brands, the big 3, Rolex, Patek, AP, they are the farthest from the truth when it comes to photos on the website versus the watch in person.
These are completely computer generated.
So this right here, this looks great. I hope that it's not different, like too different in person, because it could be, could be a little bit of a drop ball. We don't know. But why? See, this is what gets me frustrated about this brand doing these little trickle outs. My whole Instagram is fucking jabronis, literal jabronis, talking to me about a $500,000 bullshit Voodoo line and Louis Vuitton watch. Like literally, the whole Instagram is just don't even bring it up. I don't even want to give it a second. The whole Instagram is that. None of these guys are sitting with AP and looking at this. This is what happens when you have this fucking stupid method of letting watches out. It's dumb. Like my whole social media is full of garbage Louis Vuitton. Meanwhile, these watches come out. They're better than the AP release, the initial. Way better. And nobody's talking about them. A lot of them probably don't even know they got released.
Well, we're the first social media outlet to even.
That's a problem. That's a problem. It's a problem, OC. I mean, what are we talking about? Literally look at this. This is 65 grand from the Holy Trinity. The Royal Oak is white metal, blue dial. That's what made them famous. The Jumbo, right? Fine. That's like their watch. They made one for the anniversary in the best version humanly possible. What's my social media full of? Can you bring up that rainbow piece of shit $500,000 garbage? That's what we get to look at.
Yeah. Why does everybody feel like they need to do rainbow, everything in rainbow? I mean,
well, they started building this in 2021.
Got it. This is the Instagram of Jean Arnaud.
This is everybody's Instagram. The whole world right now is talking about this watch. Instead of but that's what happens when you trickle out APs every couple of weeks and you don't say anything and you think that it's a stupid fucking strategy. Especially now. You know where they should be? They should have taken all their watches for the whole year, and they should be sitting across from Patek and Rolex in Switzerland April 1st. Put your shit out there just like everybody else, and we'll see where people focus their attention. Don't keep dripping out watches like this. I gotta like go to your site and fucking search through it to figure out if you did something new. The fuck is that?
Yeah, that's the truth. Actually, they drop shit on their website in the middle of the night. They make it impossible for you to figure out what watches disappeared, which watches came on. They don't have a section that's like, by the way, just fresh, newly added at the top, these 3 pieces. No, they make you fucking filter through a list of 40 watches. Oh, is that one new? Oh, is that one new? It's like everyone's scratching their heads. Was that one there last week?
Do you want to know how botched this is, Lucy? Because if people are following AP, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. On Instagram, about 2 months ago, we had the option to follow, what the fuck is it called? From Le Brassus, from AP.
Yeah, the La Brasseur.
Right?
Yeah, the
Le
special
Brassus,
Instagram channel. Yeah.
It's a special Instagram account that everybody who's following AP, if you wanted to keep a tab on the new releases, you're getting messaged privately, right? They're messaging you. They didn't send out anything for this. I'm looking right now. The last thing they sent out was, do you love this type of content talking about the moon?
Yeah, the moon phase.
There's nothing in here at all about these releases. Nothing. If I go to the AP Instagram, which I haven't checked yet today, let's see. They don't even have anything in their stories.
I know. I'm telling you, we're bringing you absolutely breaking news, exclusive content. No one has even realized this has happened. I was the first person. I messaged a small group of people last night. You're in the group, 10, 15 people. And I said, I just got word that this happened last night. And we were talking about it on a private call. And I said, listen, tomorrow morning, we're going to break the news to the world.
They have 3.3 million followers on Instagram. They do not have any coverage of these new releases at all, which are better than the initial releases. And they're getting overshadowed by LVMH. Whoever has been handling the release for them needs to be fired. They've done an awful job. This is, again, laughable thing in the watch world. One of the best APs they've ever released. Literally ever. Nobody knows.
But maybe it's by design because they're going to trickle this out into like a special edition for like Colombia or like Argentina, and only the people in Argentina are going to be able to buy this. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Why?
They're not. They're terrible. They're terrible at what they like. Literally, I don't know who took over after Francois. I don't know what team is in place. I don't know who they hired to handle this shit, but they have done the most awful job that a company can do. They are horrible. This is an amazing watch. I'm telling you, we're going to see this watch in person, and I have a feeling we know someone that might get this. It's right up their alley. If they say no, fine. But I have a feeling that if this person were to get a Royal Oak, they'd be able to get this. And when we see it, we're going to be blown away. And nothing. This is OC. They made a competitor that's as good as the 5811. Blue dial to blue dial, white gold to white gold. They finally have a watch that's as good as the 5811.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a direct competitor.
This is fucking, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than the 5811. Not by much. I don't even know if it's probably like $6,000, $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the fuck?
What do you think about the strategy of making this special edition and like making people fucking go, but what the hell? You finally make an incredible watch, and now you're telling me that I don't know where and how to get it.
Well, I didn't read anything in here that said it was, like a limited. Like we know it's going to be limited, but I didn't see anything that said it was going to be
It's
limited.
not limited, but it does up at the top above the reference number say special edition, which is kind of like.
How many AP boutiques are there around the world? A few hundred?
Boston knows that number. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Actually, it can't be a few hundred. The U.S. alone.
I think it's like 87.
87. So they'll probably get,
say 100. 100 is a nice number.
Yeah, they're probably going to make 200 of them. 150, 200 of them. And we know people that are lined up that will be able to get it, because one of the other issue they have is the people that are on the Royal Oak train that are, going through the journey. They're going to brush right past this and not understand that it's special. They're looking for their fucking, toy ceramic trash. They want a rainbow bezel on a fucking frosted out rose gold watch because they're dumb. So they're not even going to ask for this. But we have a select few that understand AP that can get it. I hope they do.
I think anybody who is in the position to be offered this watch should definitely take it. Unless, like, for whatever reason, like your wrist is too
if it's too small
or whatever. Yeah, if it's too small, it's too small. But if you can fit a 41 millimeter Royal Oak, then this isn't. I mean, I guess maybe let's say you're Jeff, and you already have the rose gold with the blue dial.
This is better than the rose gold.
Yeah, but I mean, what, you're going to have both?
No, you do what every Royal Oak owner does. You get the better one, you get rid of the old one. People don't actually collect it. Ooh, is that a hot? We should have saved that for last night. Most people in AP don't actually collect AP. They recycle better.
They keep trading up to better ones, yeah. Because they're all the same.
It should be my opinion. I don't know. It seems to be your opinion too. This blue,
well, because they're all the same. I mean, this is their identity. This look. So if you have a blue steel 15510, and you have this one, you might as well have this one. I mean, why have a steel one?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just so fucked. I mean, this is the issue with the brand. I mean, the people that are on the train are going to skip past it because they don't understand. The company botched the release. Nobody's even talking about the 5811 competitor. Talking about Louis Vuitton. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that's how sad the watch market is? We're talking about Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I can't imagine pulling up images of Louis Vuitton watches when we've got an incredible secret drop overnight, 4 new APs. But that's what the watch industry is going apeshit over, this thing. And I think they're making 5 of them. They're making 5. Who cares?
I mean, that looks like a Ming to me. It looks like a special edition Ming. It's the same case that Ming has. Almost identical. It's nice looking. I'm not saying it's not nice looking. It's also, what, US? It's like 600 grand?
550,000 Swiss francs.
Okay. Who cares? All right, put it next to the beaver. What? What do you want to talk about? Who gives a fuck? How are you, like, if you're Waco or Ben, right? How are you not in Switzerland looking at those APs, but you're fucking in Thailand looking at this? Oh my God. Church windows.
Yep. Enough of Voutilainen. I mean, Voutilainen is on every.
He sells.
I don't know what he does.
Brand.
Yeah, he sold out. I mean, he did Zenith. He did It's a completely watered down brand now. What does he do? The movement or the dials? The guilloche on the dials? What do you fucking do?
The dials. Everybody wants the dials from him. The detail. Does a nice job, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, he does a nice job, but who cares? Is pretty much my sentiment as well.
They're making 5 of them. Okay, so Zack Attack will have one. Mark Wahlberg will have one, and then there'll be 3 unknowns. Why do we care? You realize that AP made a 5811 competitor today? The fuck?
Jean, this is superb.
He's such a jabroni.
Is it a good, nice looking case? Is it inoffensive? It doesn't like it's. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing offensive about it. It's a decent looking strap. I'm sure it's some kind of precious metal. Yeah, I get it. They paint those triangles by hand, and then they fire them, and then whatever. Yeah, I get it. I get it. What do you do though?
Go back to the APs.
Go back to the APs. Boom.
Fuck. Look at that thing.
Yep. Smoked blue guys. AP. They've done smoked dials before. They have a let me see here if I can pull it up. Let's go to the Royal Oak section. So we have a bunch of unattainable minute repeaters and
That's what you're gonna
tourbillons.
look at. See that line? See these lines of shit? And I'm not saying not all of them are bad. Obviously, some of them are really, really nice. I'm not going to say that they're all bad. Some of them are great. But if you keep scrolling, you're going to find shit. Yeah. Now we're getting weird. Now we start getting weird.
Still weird. Perpetuals. You got the Travis Scott, Cactus Jack. You've got the John Mayer. And now you've got tucked all the way on the left here is the new release, which nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm. And if you're paying attention to the journey of Royal Oaks, they've placed them in a very specific place, which tells you exactly what purchase history you need to acquire one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's above the black ceramic chronograph, but it's not
above.
It's
equal. It's equal.
Yeah, okay.
So we're right now we are between 3 and 5 watches to get one of these. If you're in that space, if you're on number 3 and you want to stretch, and if you have 5, you're going to get it easily.
Yeah. Then you scroll down. You've got the ones on the bracelet, which are easier to get. And then you've got the stainless steel. And then you get, sandwiched in here is.
Yeah.
By the way, is this one new? What is this? Did they have brown already?
No, that's black.
Oh, is that black?
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that thing it's perfect. That's a perfect Royal Oak. Other than the white gold.
Yep. Got Bill West says rainbow are out of style these days. Yeah. Got CQ, the watch guy in the chat. What's up, CQ? Yeah, we're breaking news. AP quietly and secretly dropped 4 new watches last night. Here are 3 of them right here. Boom. Sodalite, Stone, Tourbillon, code 1159. Then we have the smoked blue Royal Oak in white gold, both in time only and chronograph. And then we have a new tourbillon, flying tourbillon, black ceramic with burgundy accents.
I actually really like the Offshore.
Yeah, it's classy looking. It's for that kind of watch. It's very rich looking. Did a good job.
I'm not crazy about the code. I don't really like the code tourbillons.
The code, CQ is asking what is the code, and the code is Sodalite Stone. Sodalite.
Yeah, don't care about that.
Expensive. But yeah, the 5811 killer has arrived. Smoked blue, white gold, Royal Oak. It's a no-brainer. It's like if you and I were meeting with AP, we'd say, hey, do this. And they did it. No, meat and potatoes. Actually, more of like a filet mignon release.
My favorite
Gorgeous.
Royal Oak ever.
Good job. This is 65,000. Let me see. Hold on a second. Forgot that. 65,800. A bargain. PG says you want all three. Do you like all three, PG?
PG might be able to get this. If he wanted a Royal Oak, he could probably get this.
Well, not to be ignored is John D, who comes in with his regular dose of AP reality check. I appreciate the Royal Oak, but not Audemars Piguet. This catalog is like paging through a book where every page reads the same.
Yeah.
Boring. I mean, well, this is the Royal Oak section. I mean, this is
This is a whole lot of garbage right here. These are awful. These are all awful.
I know. And sometimes it's like you have to like we'll get on a team call and one of the members will say, "Oh, the black ceramic with the rose gold. I kind of like the rose gold." And then you have to kind of like say like, "Dude, that's ugly. Wake up. These are all ugly." You know, like what they did they came out with 3 in rose gold with the rose gold open worked, and they're all ugly. Let me see. I think the other 2 are up here somewhere. I like that one on the left. They're not good.
No.
They're not good.
No, they suck. I mean, compared to I don't know. Let's see.
There's a lot of fucking shit here. Jeez. It's a mess.
I don't know.
So here they did smoked red.
Yeah. They only did 50 or 55 of these for the world. I don't know why it's still on the site. Another thing they do that's stupid is they leave shit on the site forever, even though it's been sold out for years.
Yeah. Our good friend has this one. Pretty
Who?
sure. You know who.
No.
Oh, yeah, I think he does.
Well, at the next time we have a get-together, please let him know to bring that.
I'm pretty sure he does. Because he asked me, like, OC, do you like this? Because he's always testing me, like, and I said, no. Nah. He goes, oh, okay.
Well, like I said, please have him bring that because...
Yeah, this is a titanium with the bulk metallic glass bezel with the red smoked dial. But I don't like this one because, I don't like it because it doesn't have tapisserie dial. And I think when you get a Royal Oak, I think it's kind of a missed opportunity. If you don't have the tapisserie dial, it's like you're losing a lot of the iconic imagery. Like this, boom.
Yeah.
That's AP.
The only thing is the white gold. I don't know how comfortable that's going to be because the Royal Oak bracelet's already,
it's already pretty sharp.
It's already pretty sharp. It's like a 5 out of 10 in comfort, maybe even a 4 out of 10. So add a bunch of weight to it. I don't know. Oh, stop.
Whole Milk asks, does Louis Vuitton replace AP in the Holy Trinity? Thanks for stirring it up. Whole Milk, as always.
Look at fucking Small G kissing ass. I think we should kick him out of the group. Did you see that? Did you see the Instagram comment?
Hold on, let me go back. Listen, on Instagram, you have to.
No, I don't. I do the opposite.
He's first.
That's
first.
so nice. I'm gonna have a talk with this little fuck.
That's so nice. I think is it true that like Instagram filter reorders the comments based on if you know them or not? So like if I know people, like they tend to be up at the top, like Mr. G, Mr. Rolex. I was talking about him the other day. He's James Dowling. Looking forward to seeing this in the flesh, but I have one question. Is this why you quit making the Escala World Time? Who cares?
I wouldn't know.
There it is. 550,000 Swiss francs, limited to 5 pieces. 5 pieces. There's nothing else to really talk about about this, other than you look at it, you go, yeah, okay, they hand painted those triangles. It's an enamel dial, Kari Voutilainen, guilloche the part in the middle. It's a tourbillon or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Does it matter? No.
No, it's put it in the beaver section. Same.
Boom. Does this matter? Yeah, this now. Oh, I know people that might be able to get this. Now we're talking.
3 to 5 watches. If you got 2 or 3 under your belt, you're probably going to be in the running. And I hope you get it because it won't last forever.
PG, what APs do you have? Refresh my recollection. If you could just jump in the chat and just let us know. Hey, CQ, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. How we doing, gentlemen?
We're doing pretty good.
How's it going, Buckley?
Not bad, other than the fucking horrible marketing department at AP.
I feel like every time I'm on, it's like an AP bash. I feel like AP is going to send me a letter one day. Like, I'm going to walk in the AP house and like an assassin will just come like, oh, wow, we've been waiting for you. We didn't think you'd actually show up.
Here's what it is, right?
Tell me.
The blue dial white metal Royal Oak is the Royal Oak. It's like the no date sub, right?
Yes.
It's the sub. And they've done a bunch of really cool shit. And recently, they've done a lot of really bad shit that nobody respects. A lot of really bad shit. And the shit they've done, people have covered, like the Cause thing, right? Or Travis Scott, whatever. People made it a huge deal. And they have this strategy where they trickle shit out every 45 days or so. And it gets diluted. And it's so bad now that if you go to their Instagram, which has 3.3 million followers, they have not posted a single thing about these releases. The brand itself has not posted a single thing about the releases. They are not only have they not posted a single thing, they are being overshadowed by Louis Vuitton. Do you think that this would ever happen to Patek Philippe or Rolex? Like this is if I was Ilaria, I would fire every single person who did the PR or the marketing for this entire release, because the first release they did was garbage. No one likes anything. I don't know a single person that got on the list for anything that they released. Then they come out and they actually do a good one. They did 4 watches. 3 of them are good. 3 of them are really good. And nobody knows. The Colony with 37 people is talking about it. Waco and the other fucking jerk-offs are sitting there in Thailand stroking this old baby's dick for 5 watches that are $500,000. Meanwhile, if you said, hey, take a no-date sub and make it the best it can literally be ever for the 150th anniversary, they did it. They made a 5811 competitor. It is white gold with a smoke blue dial. It is maybe the nicest Royal Oak ever.
I see no faults in what you're saying. And what's interesting is, as you're speaking, I went to all the main outlets. Hodinky's not talking about it. Monochrome Watch is not talking about it. Even Time Zone, which is kind of like, they just put up any kind of press release. They don't have a press release on it. Watch Pro site, like nobody's talking about why. You're so right here. Like I'm very like I thought maybe, you know, you guys popped up on my YouTube, so I was like, oh, maybe I didn't see it on Instagram for whatever reason. But it's literally nowhere except the Watch Colony, which I mean is amazing. We break news, but it's very strange for them not to have a real marketing push. And like you said, LV is going to take the day and probably into the weekend. And this might be one of the better Royal Oaks ever produced. So you're on the money. Nobody's talking about this. This is so weird. Like I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Yep. It was a secret drop last night. I got tipped off about it, and we started a call. We talked to like with 6 people about it. We said, you know, this is awesome. And now we're doing a live stream again, like Buckley said, to 37 people, and everyone else is talking about a $500,000 triangle fucking painted enamel watch that nobody's ever going to get.
It's laughable. It's embarrassing. And if you're part of the brand, like if you're on the AP journey, I mean, I'm telling you, this would never happen to Rolex or Patek.
No, because you're making a very, very good point in that these 2 models are like the perfect variations of the Royal Oak. These are actually what we wanted last week. I just did a video on my Instagram, and I wish these came out before, because like now I feel like the video should be about these, because like as you said, these might be the perfected versions of the Royal Oaks, and like these are the ones that, like, if you're a Grail hunter, these are the ones that you should hunt, and these are pieces they should be proud about. 150th anniversary, somebody should be yapping about this. Even Nico van der Horst should be like talking about this. And I don't know, man. I every day, like I interact with the industry. I'm confused about why certain brands do certain things certain ways. And like you talk to people who are behind the scenes with a lot of these brands, or you know, they're, let's say, a little bit lower in the chain, and they talk about people who are higher up in the chain. And it just seems the higher up the chain you go, the
more diluted, right?
Yeah, the more diluted they are from reality, the more diluted they are from what a consumer actually wants. I think marketing companies, especially in the luxury space, they just eat money and poop out poop. You know, sometimes the poop is nice, but a lot of times it's like, I dare you, you know, like we wouldn't be able to find out, but if we found out what the spend was to make the commercials they've made so far, and it's like, hey, you should just put a ton, and it's like, if you just put that money to a nice event or just get a couple influencers, some random collectors looking at the watches, being like, oh my god, this is so cool. Put some cameras on, that's all the content you'd have ever needed. But no, they let some marketing person swindle them into like,
it's also showing something else, dude. You know what it's showing? I'm gonna call. You don't have to. You're in the industry, so you don't have to say anything. I'm gonna
say for me.
It is showing that Waco, Ben Clymer, and company are paid off at the highest levels, because the best Royal Oaks, where they should be in Switzerland right now, and they should be doing videos with these watches, and they should have been doing videos with the previous watches. I think only Time and Tide did. Well, so where are they? They're sitting in fucking Thailand.
No.
With that 26-year-old jabroni burger, probably drives a Subaru based on the way he looks. And it's because he is spending every penny he can. Look at what they did with Formula One.
Right? Oh yeah, that Formula One thing looks crazy.
Rolex, we'll pay $30 million. We want more money. Go fuck yourself. LVMH, we'll pay $150 million. So sure, pay Ben. I don't know what they're getting paid. I don't know what the details are, but you're going to ignore the holy, like literally the holy fucking Trinity one of them made their best watches, and you're over there wasting time with that jabroni in Thailand.
Listen, right? But this is the world that we live in today. When I started in this industry, like, of course, it probably was pay for play and things like that, but there was just a lot more independent. Hodinkee was a place that would give you like a random article about whatever you like. You're right, something like the Royal Oak release would have had somebody on the staff would have had to cover it. Some even the newest dweeb who just, I don't mean to call him a dweeb, but you know what I mean, the newest intern or somebody who would have threw up an article. So to be in 2025 and those releases happen, and like, you know, but it is what it is, right? We've kind of known for a long time that a lot of the top industry people, you know, they make their money through this, right? And I don't fault a Waco. I don't fault a Ben Clymer. I don't fault anybody who took a trip to Thailand. And I'm telling you right now, if they invited me to Thailand, I'm going. I'm not going to say
Well, let's
no.
play devil's
You
advocate
know?
for a second. So on one hand, I'm saying what I'm saying. Let me walk it back and go the other way. You know what could be a worse situation?
Tell me.
AP didn't know to even extend the invite because they think they're so good that everybody's going to notice.
So this is where the real conversation is, right? Because I can't blame LVMH for doing what LVMH is doing.
No,
And
of course not.
you,
Of course not.
you know, you can't, right? You can't at all. If I was in that position and I had the funds and I had Maitre Dutomps and all the resources to do what he's doing, I would
You
do
do
it
it. Yeah.
in the exact same way. And we could talk, you could talk about the Kyrie watch and it being so expensive. It's a beautiful watch made by one of the best style makers out there. People love his watches, and you can't really get his watches from him. So this is an easy sell, right? So I do not blame anything about this release at all. But you're right. On the AP side, it makes you really wonder, why
What are they
is it
doing?
what's going on? Why didn't you either know about this release? Because they had to know about this. It's no secret a bunch of people are going to Thailand for some LVMH thing. You know something's going on. So it's like, why didn't you know what's going on? Why didn't you
You know
have
why?
your counter press going on? And it's like, look, they did, the blue ceramic the day before. So even LV was smart enough to tease with this blue ceramic thing that you can't get, to start clogging up the airways with that, and then boom, they hit you with the LV Kari piece, which for people, in that vibe, of course, you're gonna drool over this all day for the next few days. So you're right, it's a real big miss on AP to have no one talk about this, and the fact that like this is the only place I'm seeing this information on the Watch Calling the Original C. It's
Joke.
insane.
Joke. Dude, it's a
You're
fucking
right.
if you
I
really think
agree.
about it, like because I always do this. Whenever we do these AP bashings, we do it. We don't go 100% because we try to bait people on to actually talk about the other side. They're fucking quiet right now because this is you. I mean, dude, they don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing anymore. This is ridiculous. I mean, how is it? Because everyone's like, they're the fucking biggest brand in the world right now. They're beating Patek in sales. They just did releases, and nobody on the planet other than 43 people right here, nobody, an entire continent, the entire continent of Europe has said nothing. So I've been going hard on Ilaria, and I've been going hard on their PR team since she's got taken over. I've been fucking ripping them apart. I've gotten into fights with people at least once a week. You're gonna say I'm wrong right now? You're gonna say I'm wrong?
No. I don't like to go directly at her too much, just because we don't know, like we don't know how much of this is a roadmap that was already spelled out from Francois, and like we don't know when her changes are going in. So I don't know. So that's why I don't like to like particularly be like, especially since she's not from the watch space. I don't know if there are a
Well,
bunch
that's
of
the whole
people.
problem. That's the whole problem. Why did they take someone who's not from the watch space?
That this, I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know. To me, but again, it's you go across the whole industry, man, and like you talk to people and you swear that like I would expect the people who are at the higher levels to be all Tim Mosso and Jack Forrester types, right? Who are just like almost savant level in their love and passion of watches. And there are people all sprinkled throughout the industry who are definitely like that. But when you get to a lot of these, it's just people who are really good at other jobs, that their LinkedIn looks really good. I mean, this is not about Ilaria, because I really
DEI hire. Let's call it what it is.
exactly.
It's a
And
DEI hire.
I don't even want to do DI hire, because like a lot of people call me a DI hire, and like it's like, in
Those
what
people
world?
are stupid. Those people are stupid.
Exactly. But unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid people out there, right? So that's why I'm always careful with how I talk, because like a stupid person will take what I say and phrase it in such a wrong way. But I do acknowledge that there is just a gap, because like it's so like you're so spot on with saying, how in the world is nobody talking about these
They fucked
APs?
up. They've
It
been
doesn't
fucking
make
up the
sense.
company. Let's not even blame her. Let's go to the AP family. Let's not blame the AP family. Let's blame the executives at the top. I don't care who it is. When Francois was there, he took them from zero to hero.
For sure.
He did.
For sure.
Okay. He left. As soon as he left, we started seeing shit go the opposite way. People are like, well, that's still Francois. It doesn't
right.
matter. Her name's on the fucking building. And Francois, this is not Francois. Releasing 3 watches that are good, or 4 watches, and not covering it is not Francois.
You're right.
That is them.
You're absolutely correct.
Royally. Her taking all her time and money to fly around the world to meet with Serena Williams and friends to attract females into the space. That is not Francois. That's not him. That's fucking her and her mission. Her entire thing is about pulling women into the space. Fine. Pull women into the space. But all the shit that made you awesome, you're fucking leaving at the door. CQ. AP released cufflinks. The world should be covering it. They're in the top 5 brands in the world right now.
This is one of the rare times where it's like, you're so right. Not that you're always wrong, but usually I like to try to present a different side of the argument. But you're correct. And like, if Francois was there, we would know about this. Somebody somewhere would be talking about it. Actually, everybody would have been talking about this. Either it would have came out a different week from LVMH, or he would have paid enough to combat it with some counter press or something like that. So you're definitely right. And I think maybe I just, I hate to, to point blame at anybody, and that's just me being like a super nice guy. But you're right. If it was my name on it, everybody would say CQ's doing a horrible job. What is he doing up there? So I can't just because I want to give people some rope. Go ahead.
The first, besides the shitty collaborations, the first thing we saw them do as far as marketing goes was that Frisbee ad on the beach,
which is bad.
It was terrible. We all made fun of it, and we had nothing to compare it to. And we let it sit because nobody was doing anything. And then Patek, I didn't like Patek's Cubitus release because they used that Percocet Pete fuck on. I call him Percocet Pete. Percocet Pete is the younger dude that should get a haircut on the rooftop getting a Cubitus. Weird marketing.
Yes.
Not as good, so you couldn't do anything. But then a couple of weeks ago, did you see the Reach for the Crown ad from Rolex? It was like the Reach for the Crown ad. Reach for the Crown ad was like fucking Thor coming out of the sky and hitting tens of thousands of people with lightning and just fucking annihilating everybody. Look at this piece of shit ad from what I'm supposed to consider high horology. Like, what even is this?
It's a marketing company who made a lot of money. As somebody who's just been in a lot of those meetings and who, I pitch people to do marketing and content for them all the time. Like, I see something like this and I just know it's like expensive models, expensive set. They charge you a bunch for camera people. They charge you a bunch for so much, right? You kind of rented out that beach as well. There's so much money that went into this, and there's a way you could have done this, made it fun, made it at the beach, told a little bit more of a story, and make me want to buy an AP. But when I'm watching this, again, I always say this makes me look like if I'm a very well-off collector and I have kids. I left the beach, right? I went to go to work or something, and all my kids got into my watch stuff, and they're just like rocking my stuff at the beach. And I'm gonna come home like, who got sand on my APs? It just looks like that. Not to say younger people, but doesn't it feel like that? It's like, man,
this is what it shows me. When you come from a family of a lot of money and you do your summers in south of France or wherever this is filmed, I have no idea where this is filmed. You go to the AP, you get on the journey, you buy this, and all the cool kids that are in between fucking, they're in between bachelors and masters. They have APs that they didn't pay for. When Rolex did their ad, it's like, when you become excellent, you wear a Rolex.
Yes. It was such an
when
amazing
you're
ad.
Fucking excellent. The Reach for the Crown ad was the best watch marketing I think I've ever seen.
They are so good. I if you ever happen to be in Dubai, anyone, go to the Rolex boutique, ask them to take go to the Rolex boutique in the Dubai Mall, ask them to take a tour, and tell them that you want to see the movie theater. Tell them the CQ sent you. You can say my name, say, hey, CQ sent me, told me this is the most amazing experience. Could I please go up to the movie theater and see it? When you go to the movie theater, it's like a 2-minute little short, right? But it's like in the best audio, it's like a mini IMAX thing. And when I tell you, at the end of that, I was ready to buy a Rolex. And I was in the industry, but it was so good. And they just went over just the different key moments and Sir Edmund Hillary, but the production quality was so amazing. And every time I've watched it maybe 4 or 5 times, and every time I'm like, fuck, I put a deposit down.
Exactly.
What's wrong with me? And I'm like, I'm reaching for my wallet. Hey, I'm like, what? But that's how good the production, and like you said, it's not showing me a fake story. It's showing me, hey, when you're excellent, you reach for your Rolex.
Yeah.
When you climb to the top of the mountains, you're reaching for your Rolex. It's insane.
The topic of the day, I just want to refocus just a little bit because PG's in the chat, and PG is an AP collector. And I want to go through his collection, and I want you guys to comment on it, on if he should be getting one of these Royal Oaks next.
Yes.
So what PG has, I know what PG has this in his collection. He has 4 watches, 4 APs already. So he has.
The answer is already yes. If you have 4
Hold
APs,
on. I know it is. We know, but we have to go through the motions, Buckley. Like we have to actually do the real analysis. So he spent 40 grand on this offshore chronograph. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also has what's known as the diver, the green diver. People call this the grenade, or what do they call this?
It's one of the coolest greens in the industry. Love it.
So this is the AP Royal Oak Offshore Diver in green. And he also has this.
Ooh.
Yep. Very, very cool watch. We know
MJ has this watch as well.
Awesome.
So it's $60,000 blue ceramic Royal Oak Offshore. And then he has this Code 1159 chronograph in white gold with beautiful black dial. So that's his 4-piece. He doesn't have any Royal Oaks.
Yeah, he's prime. He's prime to get. He should be, and only get it if you like it. It's just my opinion that it's the best. It's the best Royal Oak that we've seen in years. But if you don't like it, don't get it. You know,
right. PG. I might have screwed up a little bit on his collection, but my apologies. But basically, just correct me, PG, in the chat, or if you want to jump on, I'll drop the link. But basically, he has at least 3 pieces, no Royal Oaks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect time to say, look, I have 3 pieces, and you know that one of them I enjoy special edition things, which is the Offshore, right? And I haven't requested a Royal Oak because I want the one that I love, and taking all that into consideration, this is the Royal Oak that I want. Assume
that he has these 3. He has the green, he has the Code, and he has this super expensive blue ceramic. At this point, he should be able to get whatever the fuck he wants, right?
Not whatever he wants, but he should qualify for this. I mean, you have 3 pieces under your belt. You should be a white gold blue dial. You should be able to get that.
PG in the chat says, I want the light blue Royal Oak. I'm assuming in steel.
No, he's talking about 37 millimeter. Huh.
37 millimeter light blue.
41?
That should be so easy based on what he's spent so far. That's kind of bullshit that he doesn't have that. If he wants it, he should have that already.
2 offshores and a Code is plenty.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Oh, you just asked for it? So, well, how come you didn't ask for a Royal Oak before? Like, by the way, PG, if you don't know, CQ he's a mega collector. He's actually been featured with the Tim Masso Collector Series, the Collecting Conversations on 1916 Company. So he's
nice,
very well-known guy and good, solid member of the community. I know it's tax time, PG. So listen, I don't feel any pressure to jump on because I know it's super, super busy for you this time of year. So no pressure to jump on.
I love that PG is waiting for the right one that he wants. Right. I think this is such No offense, CQ, I heart you, but we as collectors and the gray market dealers have another point of view. No offense. Okay, not sure what that is in regards to, but I love how PG's collecting, and it's you buy what you want, right? He has all pieces that I think he really, really enjoys, and then it's like, hey, you wait for the right royal oak that you really want, and then when you go to that SA or whoever you contact, they really know that, hey, you know, PG really, really wants them. Let me really push for him, because he's not somebody who just says yes to everything that comes through.
Really quick before PG starts, AP 3 minutes ago released another video about the fucking code that they released a month ago. Joke. Literal joke.
Story or a reel?
A reel on their regular page. They haven't done any stories. Not doing shit. It's blank. They haven't done any stories in days. Joke.
Shit. All right. Someone who's not a joke is PG. Hey, good morning.
Well, I don't know about that, but
thanks for jumping on. I know it's super busy for you this time.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm reviewing tax returns, but I wanted to explain. So again, Buckley's may get triggered by this, but I've had nothing but great experience with AP the whole time. I've never had any problems. Like anything I've really kind of asked for in general, they've gotten me within 6 months or so. So believe it or not, and this is where I'm probably going to get some hate, I've been offered a Royal Oak before. I've turned it down, and I'll tell you why. Well, you know me, OC. You know the type of stuff I collect, so I'm kind of a difficult person.
I kind of make fun of PG because he has two Daniel Charles.
I was just gonna say
he has two Gerald Charleses that look exactly the same. So
I was just gonna say you're talking to a guy that owns two Gerald Charles watches. Okay, but anyways, honestly, I don't think I would wear it enough, and that was my whole point. I told her, I said I'd rather have something in ceramic that I know I'm going to wear all the time. I love ceramic. It's kind of my thing. So, and I told them just recently within the last month, I was like, you know, I think I may want the Royal Oak. The only one that really appeals to me at the moment, it's a smaller one. It's 37 millimeters, but it's that ice blue dial version. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, all right, I'll let you know. But I haven't had a hard time. And you know, I'm one of those, I'm probably AP's dream because I don't start with like, get me a Royal Oak. I'm like, you know, I kind of like the code. I wanted that green diver. I just bought that not long ago. She's like, hey, we got one. Do you want it? I said, because I turned it down before and I was like, you know what, I'll take it. And because I love that. That's a cool watch. But yeah, this is the one that I really like. I've seen it on people's wrists in live and it wears bigger than 37 millimeters. And that blue, that light blue color, I'm not a big blue person, but light blue I like. So I'm like, you know what? I think if I get one, that's the one that I want to get.
I think that's a good one.
That's it, man. That's like, so for me, and unlike Buckley, every night before bed, I watch that fucking summer scene of AP and it helps me go to sleep. It makes me feel like my life has purpose. And that's sad that Buckley can't feel that too.
I mean, I do.
I'm joking.
I know, but I do wish for like, you know, that type of success where my kids do steal all my APs. Unless that's the toughest part of my day, just yelling at my kids for scratching up my turb or taking it to the water. Like, so it is a very aspirational video in that sense for sure.
It's an awful look. Buckley's right. Like all jokes aside, it's awful. What audience? I love AP, and I really do. I'm kind of like Boston, I guess. But that type of stuff doesn't make sense to me, and I don't know who the bigger problem is. Who are you marketing to with that kind of stuff? And I agree. You have these types of releases, and you don't need to do the the quiet releases like this. Like it's AP. I mean, what? I do have a hard time understanding what's kind of going on with it, but I don't know. For me, I don't care about that stuff. I'm kind of a non-hype guy, so I don't really care, but I understand what's being said. Like how is this not everywhere on Fratello, on Hodinkee? Like how is this not what's being discussed? These types of things. I don't know. I don't know.
Man, something's weird is going on because you're right. Not even Fratello. Fratello isn't even talking about the Louis Vuitton piece. They got a Zenith on their front page.
Somebody decided something.
Something happened.
About a year ago, somebody decided something, and whatever they decided was the wrong move.
Is this a speakeasy? Is this a speakeasy type of thing where they're like, you know what? We want this brand to be quiet. We want people to not have it in their face. We want to make it desirable to the. I don't know.
I think somebody fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. That could be it too. I mean, it could be just man.
So
it's crazy, right?
They've been doing this for years, where they've been trickling the stuff out every 45 days. It's literally every 45 days a new AP comes out. So it's been getting diluted over time. Every now and then we catch one, but usually at least somebody's covering it. Monochrome, Hodinkee, at least there's photos, something.
The thing is,
Dude,
the way they
so
drop
bad, PG, it's so bad. AP themselves have not put anything on social media.
Don't even know. None of the people in the company even know. I can guarantee you, there are 100 boutiques around the world. None of them knew that this was coming. They're dropped in the middle of a fucking page with 60 other Royal Oaks. There's nothing on the top that says, newly released or new, brand new or whatever, recently updated or what. Nothing. It's like,
could this be a mistake? Maybe
fucking social media sleuth to fucking drop me a tip and say, hey, by the way, this happened last night. Nobody in the world knows about this. Click here and check these out.
Crazy. I don't.
Do you think this is perhaps like a mistake by like the web developer who put these up too early or something? I'm just trying to think of like.
Might be, but it's been live. It's been live for like 12 hours already. So take it down. Then they've done that before. They fucked up before. But
yeah, things happen. It's just like it's so weird that like nobody at all is talking about it, and I can't imagine what. I can't like I'm trying to think how this could happen where you wouldn't want anybody to speak about some really like this is an easy win. This is like the easiest win you could get is dropping these today. You know what I mean? So it makes me think. I'm hoping that maybe there's a web developer who had this scheduled for the wrong day or something like that.
Maybe.
And maybe there's embargoes out, and that's the only thing I can think of is maybe these people do know about this. There's embargoes out, and somebody has messed up on the website, and that's why. But
it does. So that's given them the benefit of the doubt that someone messed up. But if you look at what they've been doing for close to 2 years, they've been doing shit. So it's just another. It's like another. It's another strike towards the shit category. Like, oh, AP did something stupid again. Well, I'm not surprised because that's number 9 thing, 10 thing in 18 months.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It makes you wonder. It makes you kind of question leadership to a point. Like, is there no control happening? Where let's just say that it is a mistake. That's still a concern.
PG.
Like, how is there not?
Spends every waking second flying around the world doing woman empowerment into AP. That's all she cares about. That is literally all she cares about is driving women into the Royal Oak and the Code and the Offshore. That's it. She has done nothing else. She has spoken that she was hired to do that. Why? It's fine. Do it. I think 50% of Rolex sales are women or more. Fine. Good. Capture it. But that's not why people are collecting your brand. People aren't doing it for that reason.
I think, unfortunately, when it comes to, women and watches and a bunch of men talking about it, people don't realize women collectors enjoy men's watches or enjoy the watches that were made for men, and I think what happens with everyone who says, hey, I want to target the ladies audience, they end up making these like lady only watches that some ladies like, but most ladies, they want to steal the Daytona their husband or boyfriend wears. They like that, how that looks. They like a good royal look. You already have a 37, you know what I mean? Like many ladies will enjoy that very, very well. I think when you make this effort to make things very centered toward ladies, but you're not making something super, femme like like Van Cleef and Arpels when they used to do the ones where like the two people would meet on the bridge and that was very romantic and it told a very good story. I think you don't need to lean in to ladies as much. Like Rolex doesn't do adverts that specific towards women. They just have a great ladies collection. You know what I mean? So
let me because Diego has good points that he's going to make. Here's the Cloud Ken said something funny, but let's be serious for a second. Men do need things that they can go to get away from women. We don't have many. We have golf, right? We have other sports, maybe. We have the sauna, right? We have watches. And what has happened in the watch world, the reason why people collect APs and Pateks and stuff is it's like earning martial arts belts. If you got the call for these watches, look, if I got the call for the jumbo and you didn't, I'm a blue belt, you're a yellow belt. I can beat you up. And it's all about competition. It's about dick swinging. And when you take a woman that, in my opinion, is a DEI hire, I think she is, and you put her at the top, she doesn't understand any of that. And Francois specifically took watches, put them into the hands of people because he knew it was about Boston Collector and Jeff fighting each other for the watch. That's why you buy AP. And she doesn't get it. And it's very, very obvious. Nobody cares about a 26-year-old trans guy having an offshore on the beach. We don't give a fuck at all. We don't care. And this makes me not want. Look, I have a child on the way. It's going to be a boy. Everybody knows this by now.
But Buckley, do you really know that that's their gender at assignment?
It is in this fucking house. I am not right now. I don't feel any level of draw to AP to buy a watch that I would leave to them. There's nothing there because it's ridiculous. What they're doing is fucking ridiculous.
PG, what specifically is it about this one? I mean, you could have any Royal Oak you want. Is it just the fact that it's steel, it's the right size, and you like that light blue color? Is that because I want to make sure you're making the right decision because you have access to go precious metal if you want,
right?
Because once you buy a Rolex, they're all the fucking same. Like you'll be so.
Well, there's three that I can kind of choose from my understanding. There's the green 41 millimeter. There's the black. See, again, I know this is crazy. I'm not a big blue person, so the only blue I really like is kind of this light blue. I like a lot. So there's this one, the green.
No, it's
41.
It's not fine. What about this?
This is.
He's not into it. It's fine.
The dial. I don't like that it's gold. If it was steel, I'd probably be more interested, but I don't like that it's white gold.
All right, just checking.
I agree with that.
Advocate. Well, what's the third one? The third one is black, you said? You wanted
because I love black dials. So it's either 41 millimeter black, 41 millimeter green, or this 37 millimeter ice blue.
And of these three, you just recently said, hey, I'm ready to I've made a decision. I want one of these three models.
After I bought, because I try to buy one AP a year in general. It's kind of what I've been doing for a few years.
And you bought this thing last?
No, I bought the diver last.
This thing. You bought this fucking thing?
Well, it's you know what I mean. You know how I am.
PG, I'll tell you this much.
Yeah.
The green dial is the rarest because it's the hardest to make because it goes through a completely different process to make it green. And I know I know that you're sort of a fucking weirdo and you go super deep on these things. Like your whole brand is about being different and Amish. So
well, definitely Amish. That's number one. That's you're right.
Yeah, but if the 41 is too big for you, I don't know if it's too big, but
no, it's not too big. Have you ever seen the 37 millimeter in person?
Yes, Small G has one.
I just like the way that looks.
Proportions,
This is a 43, right? So if you're wearing 43. This and it fits, then we need a picture of that on the wrist.
This is supposed to be in your face. It's like a Panerai.
Yeah, I got a 7-inch wrist. So the 37, it's not even that the 41's too big. It's just I've put on that 37 millimeter. I just like the way it looks. Better.
If it's
Well,
better.
hey,
Yeah.
OC, you have a, and because I have one too, you have a Rolex Oyster Quartz, right?
Yes.
You know, that's a smaller watch. Was it 35 millimeter technically?
36. Yeah, 36, I think. Yeah.
It wears bigger, and that 37 millimeter ice blue. And for me, I like the dial. I mean, that dial, I love that color blue. So it's kind of, you know, that's my if I had the three of them to choose, it'd probably be this one, then the green one, then the black.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All good then.
All right, good.
All good. You Colony approved.
Okay.
You got to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Plus, Buckley, if I have a transgendered son, I can give him this 37 millimeter.
Yes.
You understand that, right? It goes both ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But don't you have a girl? You have a girl.
I do. Well, I do for now. Yeah.
You do for now.
But this is baby blue, which should be a boy's watch anyway. You know.
True. Yeah.
It's not.
Well, I mean, so here's the other thing. Man, this fucking company. Go to their website, OC. And pull up the catalog.
Real quickly, I just want to highlight the fact that the marketing team is super busy, the web team is busy, and the agency is very busy. If you haven't been to the 150th anniversary site in a while, they've got a whole bunch of new shit here. They've got a whole slew of tutorials, games, quizzes, how-to guides. You can build your own tourbillon. You could learn about the history of AP. They've put together a massive collection of shit here, including all kinds of secret stuff. Like right here, I have like my AP locker. I'm going to click on it, and I have badges that I've collected.
I want to reach through the screen and choke the fuck out of you right now.
I know, but
this is so 2010, maybe even 2005.
Oh, see, the Sims game, PG's daughter and her friends are playing Sims. You might want to go over there and talk shop.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what we're looking at here. You have badges? Cool.
They've done badges, guys. Badges.
You're not wrong, Buckley. She's playing Animal whatever Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yes,
badges.
You're not wrong. Yes.
Okay. All right, here we are. We're here for you now.
You're not wrong.
Go to the Royal Oak for a second. And let's scroll down to where 39 meets 37.
Guys, this is the original OC channel, the absolute best watch talk in the business here, in part of the Colony Network. We're bringing you an exclusive. AP secretly dropped 4 new models, including 2 smoking hot smoked blue Royal Oaks last night in the dead of night. Nobody knows about them. We're covering them live.
Actually, hold on. Go back up to 38.5. Let's start there. Now, nope. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's literally perfect. Thank you, OC. Don't move a second.
All right, not moving.
Now, everybody's been talking. The 41 wears like a 42.5. And if you don't have a minimum of 7-inch wrist, really 7 1/4, it's too big. OC, you've considered moving to the jumbo because you feel yours is too big now. Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. Small G bought the 37, and the proportions on a 6.5-inch wrist as a male are perfect. Yes or no?
I agree with that.
Okay. The majority of people, a huge market for AP, is the Asian market. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. What AP is saying here is the watches that fit people, men between 6.5 and 7 inches that will look good on them, they should not even consider, because 38 and below is for women. And you should not look here. Case in point, rose gold, purple diamond thing. Keep going. Keep going.
It's true. I mean, it's true.
Keep going.
I mean,
Look.
you're in.
Diamond bezel, diamond bezel, diamond bezel. Keep going. Diamond bezel, diamond bezel. Okay, now we have some 38s, but if I'm a woman, I'm just boring and I'm going to pick that. Turquoise, purple.
Yeah.
Keep going. Now we're in 37.
Yeah,
Now we're in 37s. Keep going. Keep going. Look at this. Diamonds, 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 diamonds. Light blue diamonds. Keep going.
Awful alligator bracelets now.
Keep going. Diamonds, 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 diamonds. Keep going. Rainbow. Now, stop. Frosted, right? We have one stainless steel. We know someone who has the stainless steel. We can't say who it is. But it's buried in the women's collection. So they've already told us.
You're right.
They've already told us 38.5 and below. We have no desire whatsoever to start mixing this up and giving people the proper size watches. This is for women. Go buy a 41, which is fucking ridiculous.
Agreed.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you're right. How can you argue when you look through this online? I mean, it's nobody in their right mind would come away with a different conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, and when you go to the boutique, that's what they tell you. Oh, man, 41. The kid's got a 6 1/4 inch wrist. He's 5'2". Why would you give him a 41? That's the man size.
Right.
What?
Yep. And then look at these.
Look, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then you actually have some really nice women's models here, the white ceramic and the black. Those are really cool.
Well, 34, that should be known that that's woman. Fine.
Right.
Fine.
And then you have the newly, like, we still have, these are all women's obviously because they're 34. And then you get down, then they introduced the mini Royal Oak here in 3 versions, which is quartz, 23 millimeters.
Yeah.
I just don't, nothing that they're doing makes sense. No one's really thinking through what they're doing. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, look, man, if I were to get, because another watch someday I'll buy at some point because it's classic, is a Rolex President, I'm going to get it in 36 millimeter because to me, that's what it is. And it's a well-known thing with Rolex. That's a completely acceptable, known, actually probably arguably preferred version of the President. And you're right. You're missing out on a huge swath of people. I mean, I'm over 6 feet tall. I got a 7-inch wrist. I've got no problem sporting a 37 millimeter. And you're right. When you bury it into something like this, you make the assumption if you're, not watch knowledgeable, it's like, oh, I can't even look at these. These are clearly the women's watches.
Diego just texted me privately. He wanted me to ask you.
Me?
Yes. Does the figure of income you have match the height or above? And does the dick match the wrist? He just texted me that. I don't know why he wants to know that. It's really weird, but he wants to know.
Strange.
Yeah,
question.
that is interesting. I'm gonna have to do some math.
Don't die on me. Oh, God.
I'm gonna do some math equations to figure that out. Yeah.
I mean, you basically have the equations Diego's looking for: 6 feet, 6-figure income, 6-inch dick. So he's, let him know in your private time.
Yeah, I gotta sit with that. I don't understand the line of questions, but yeah, that's okay.
By the way, I think the hottest Date 836 right now is
that's nice.
Well, there's 2: yellow gold with the green baguette dial,
awesome.
fluted bezel. You can also choose this with diamond bezel if you really want to go completely apeshit. But the other one is the white gold. Oh, rose gold with the blue dial baguette. Have you seen that?
Oh,
one?
yes.
But it's basically this one, but with rose gold and a blue dial with the diamond baguettes. So
that green and yellow, man, that's just classic. I mean,
yeah, it sure is. But this is your next piece, and you're not ashamed of AP. You're an avid collector. You love the brand. You've shown your love for the brand with the purchase of, again, I say this.
Yeah.
Which MJ has. We've seen it in person. It's incredible, right? It's amazing. And
I love it.
Tell us a little bit about Code Life.
Again, I always the original codes that came out. Let's all not lie to each other. They were not great, right? They were terrible. The dials were awful. We don't even need to go there. But these Fume dials, it's got a black ceramic insert center to it. I mean, with black and gray, I've got green straps. I've got a million different of these rubber straps that go with it. It can go with anything. Mm-hmm. I like the code. I think the code has come a long way. I mean, I think people would agree it's come a long way. You still may not like it, but I don't think anybody can argue that the code hasn't improved with the direction that they've taken it.
Yeah, Buckley has a very specific recipe for how to improve the code's desirability and place in the market. Because just the challenge is, and I'll just pull up one here, this one.
I did what now?
This is a very nice watch, but
It's a nice
this
watch.
is available. Yeah, this is a stainless steel 3-hander. It's available for $17,000 in secondary.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the prospect of buying this at 26 plus tax, which is basically 28, and then having it worth 17 as soon as you drive it off the lot, is not something that's super desirable. But I can understand maybe 11,000 isn't that much of a hit if you're a massive fan of the brand and you like working with the boutique, and it's going to add to your purchase history and all that stuff. So maybe that's not insane, but some of the chronographs, you're talking about a $25,000.
Oh yeah, it's
haircut.
a horror show. Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, see, I don't know. I think the 1159s could be a little bit smaller too, though. I think again you're getting kind of into that argument. The lug to lug is very long on those.
Well, look at what they
Yeah.
do immediately. When you hit 38, look what happens.
Yeah, they give you the.
Well, no,
women's
you're
one.
right. Again, you're right. It's that you're right. That's the problem, and it's weird because we all know, agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. The market is speaking that they want smaller sizes. Now, some of the shit that goes on with people putting on fucking 26 dudes sporting 26 million, those dudes need slapped. I'm sorry, that shit is not. That's insane.
Ridiculous. And the
That's
worst is when they have a fat wrist and they're wearing like a 31. Like what?
Oh,
Dude.
like, come on, man. That stuff is beta soy. Like, I'm not even going to talk about that. But 36 to 38 is what people want, and man, there's an opportunity there for that. And the code, it's fine for me. I got a 7-inch wrist. I'm lucky. Not that that's massive. It's not 8 inches like Buckley, but I can sport almost anything. But I don't know. It's too big. It's too big.
I don't know what they're doing. Maybe somebody can get on the panel one of these days and explain to me in a way that makes sense. But the problem is every time someone tries to do the AP apology tour for what they're doing, never really makes any sense.
I mean, I wouldn't go to the extent, and I love Boston, but he will die for AP. He will go to war for AP, and I don't know if I'd do that. But I don't have the beefs that I think a lot of people have. Like, I don't think they're doing anything horrifically. I think there's a lot of brands right now that are in real trouble, like Zenith. They're in real, like brands like that. They're in real trouble. Like, I don't know. I think AP will be just fine. I do worry a little bit.
You know what happens with a PG? I'll tell you why people get aggravated with AP.
Okay.
It's because, granted, they do great stuff. I could have all three. I could have Royal Oak Offshore Code, no problem.
Yeah.
And I would enjoy them, no problem.
Yeah.
But what always happens is the AP people, they come in the room and they say, I'm bored of Rolex. I'm selling all my Rolex to get APs because they're better. And AP is the future and Patek is for old men. And that's when you need to sit them down and pat them on the head and say, take a seat. It's been 5 minutes. Not even Rose Pulse, 15 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. I know that we got here in 2021. That's nice. But take a deep breath. Because if you think that anybody at retail with the option to buy at retail is choosing an Offshore over an Aquanaut, and Patek is not even known for their Aquanaut or Nautilus. That's not their thing. But that's a different conversation. You're out of your mind. So calm down. You want to have AP third place? I'm with you. It's not taking away from Rolex or Patek.
Yeah, I have a big collection all over the place. So I don't, Rolex has its place, AP has its place, Patek has its place. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that passionate about it where I'm like, fuck this one, or I'm only buying this. So I don't know.
I think there's certain.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think there's certain collectors who do they fall in love with one brand, and not everybody. I think this is a smaller group, but there is that group out there who You know, they're Rolex guys, they're Rolex guys, they're Patek guys, they're Patek guys, they're AP guys, they're AP guys. And there was a little bit of a, you know, AP's going younger, they're doing things a little bit better than Patek. Patek is you know, a little bit older. And I think for people who just like observing the brands as a whole and you've been collecting them or watching them for a long time, you just like it's just very easy to compare and contrast of what's going on. I don't think there's any real beef. I think that they are with AP during the 50th anniversary of the Royal Oak. There were a lot of situations where a lot of people got burned and they had big spends, and especially like I was in the Middle East, so just anecdotally, I ran into a ton of people who just did not have good experiences when those watches were released, and they didn't understand because they spent so much money throughout decades with the brand, and all of a sudden things are just new and spend doesn't matter, and we want to, you know, give these watches to new clients versus old clients. And I think that really made a big break for them. And that's why they kind of had to skew younger, because just the people who were coming to me, giving me those stories were not like 1 watch guys or 2 watch guys. These are like 10 to 15 deep guys who are like really like what? Like you call me, I say yes. The wire's there before the phone call truly disconnects type of guys. And that kind of happened. Not to blame that on, I don't know, in the Middle East, there's a different type of situation going on where it was a JV going straight AP. But I think around the world at that time, a lot of things happened just internally with how they wanted to release those watches. It wasn't handled the best way. And I think that started a little bit of a thing against them for a lot of collectors. But I think at the end of the day, they're a great brand. It's just very interesting to see how they're moving in you know, these past few years, for sure.
Yeah.
Today was the worst fuck up I've ever seen.
I'm hoping that.
Still nothing on the site, by the way. I'm sorry, on the Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. So I'm hoping that it's like a web develop. I know Diego is saying, hey, they just released this. This isn't really a part of the collection. It's not part of the 150th anniversary collection. That's why they didn't do a press release. But to me, if you don't have one little random, like Tim Masso might talk about this before anybody else. The fact that we are truly breaking this news is very like, if I was in somebody who was running the brand, is very troubling. We're cool, and everybody who listens to this channel, they're like very savvy watch collectors for the most part. So this is actually a great group to be breaking this news. But the fact that like there isn't some like
It's
the
a
AP
conspiracy
guy, you know, talking about it, or like somebody somewhere doing a random like Hodinky post or monochrome watches or something, just like, oh wow, AP just secretly released these 2 new models, part of their normal collection, and just a short little blurb. I'm not talking like a big in-depth press release, but like it's very unusual that, like, you know, and I'm sure by the end of the day somebody's gonna watch this and then comment, but it's very interesting that like somebody at AP said, hey, let's just feed somebody this information real quick. Let's give an easy win to like Ben's Watches or Mike Nouveau or like, you know, somebody, because they've flown so many people out to the AP places in Switzerland and things like that. So they are connected with the influencers. So I'm 100% on board with you, Buckley. Like from a business development and marketing standpoint, this is just a strange scene to me, because these are great watches. Is that to say these were
let's assume, let me pose a question to the panel. Let's assume that they're not talking about these at all because they're special edition and they're only going to be available in either a certain part of the world, maybe Middle East only, or maybe Singapore only, or whatever. Is it a mistake? Number one, is it a mistake that they're still not promoting it? And number two, is it a mistake that they're so limited in their geographic focus, or the fact that they're being targeted to a certain audience and they're not more widely available to everybody?
The whole thing is a mistake, but we have to address. I mean, Diego's going full conspiracy here. He's saying the woman in charge, Ilaria, intentionally didn't promote this because it's the work of. So she buried it because she doesn't. That's a little crazy. I don't.
Yeah. Let's not do that unless we have like some type of anecdotal evidence of that. That's a little like, I'd love to go into the conspiracy waters with you, Diego, but it's like, let's be a little responsible. Unless you have some type of anecdotal evidence of that you can point to, like.
Now we have the other side of delusion. Boston is making the case. Listen to this. Boston is making the case that AP always does this, and the fact that they're not even talking about it and just put them on the site doesn't matter. It's a nothing burger.
I love Boston collectors so much. I would love to do like, if you ever want to do like a Patreon debate between me and Boston collector.
And the irony is he's saying that these incredible watches are a nothing burger.
Because he doesn't get it. He doesn't. I'm gonna take a stand against Boston collector. I don't think he understands.
He thinks that's defending the brand.
He thinks he's defending the brand, but he also, I mean, it's kind of shocking. Like Boston, if you're listening and you understand, they took the most iconic watch in the most iconic color, and for the 150th, they made it perfect. Literally a 5811 competitor. This is the nicest blue they've ever done. It's white gold. It's special. It's limited. And you think this is a nothing burger? You'd rather have that sand gold piece of shit? I don't know. I think this is the best watch they've released in years. I think he's fucking crazy. I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, this is pure class. This is the first watch that I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I'd want this or a 5811. What are we talking about here?
It's so crazy because you're so.
What is he talking about? This guy's lost it. I mean, someone send Boston Collector a fucking pill. He's got to swallow. So I don't understand. This is enough. It doesn't matter. Hey, if AP releases their best watches and nobody talks about it, it doesn't matter.
But is this limited? Is this limited edition?
Like just to defend, it's not limited. It's a special edition.
Okay.
But just to defend Boston Collector a little bit, maybe clarify what he's saying. He's saying that they do tend to kind of drop models onto the website in the middle of fucking 50 pieces, and they remove models without telling anybody. And sometimes they're special editions, and they kind of drop them, and you have to kind of figure out that, oh, this is kind of interesting. It's got maroon on it, but oh well, I guess it's not available for the U.S. market, or it's only available in Hong Kong or whatever. But isn't that a problem that they treat their models that way, and that they just drop this fucking in the middle of a fucking ocean of 50 other Royal Oaks, and just expect people to just pick up on it and then work hard to figure out, what does this mean that it's special edition? Why the fuck are they doing it this way? The fact that they always do it this way isn't a validation. It's a criticism. It's an indictment of the way they continue to do it. Why don't they have a special section for these if they're special?
I mean, me and Boston do our shtick. Like obviously offline, we're very good friends. You know, we laugh about a lot of shit. We send each other memes on Instagram.
Yeah, Boston's hilarious.
Like, this is the first time where I'm reading what he's saying, and if what he's saying is not shtick, I'm a little concerned for his mental health. Like, I'm gonna call him after this, or I hope he hops on the panel. Because
you're gonna do a safety check.
This is like, Boston, I know you like special stuff. They made their best watch better, and nobody's talking about it. No, but the entire continent of Europe, where
nobody knows about it, and they haven't announced it, and they buried it in an ocean of other Royal Oaks, so you can't find it.
Yeah, so I want to just answer OC's question there about when they do releases for certain regions, but there's still big press about it. I think that's still a positive, right? Because it's a tent pole for the brand. It just makes you speak about the brand, and maybe you're not able to get that watch, but it makes you speak about the brand. It shows you something interesting. If you're somebody who buys pieces on a secondary market, it's something that goes on your list to buy down the road. And I think the region ones, it's weird, right? Because I how do I say? I really like the fact that the Middle East collectors command that type of power, and I wish North American collectors could command that type of power a little bit better. And I know it because of traditionally how distributors and ADs are set up, that wasn't able to happen, because if you make a limited edition in the US, often it would need to be with a retailer. It couldn't just be like, hey, this is for the US market. But I think what's great about the Middle East and Asian markets is a lot of these brands had to work so hard to earn that business that now it's expected that, hey, where's the Middle East edition? Where's the, that's why I was so upset to see the Vacheron 1921 Historique Middle East edition being offered so broadly to people in the US and Asian markets, because I think it's so fun that you as a collector base have made these brands bend to you and like, hey, you want our money? We give you the money, but once in a while, you gotta give me something super special, right? That's the thing about the Arabic dial Daytonas is that, hey, you got to be in the Middle East to get that watch. I don't care who you are. Trust me, we tried to make miracles happen for so many people when we got there. And it's like, hey, brother, I don't care if you're a $5 million client of mine. If you're not in Dubai and spent a grip with them, nothing I could do for you. And I just think it'd be nice to see North American or certain cities get a little bit more of that. It does happen once in a while, but I think it's great. I think it shows that brands are willing to do something special, something unique. It's unfortunate for us in the US because usually we don't get that many cool North American editions, but I think it's an overall net positive for them. They're selling some watches, they're getting some press off of it, so there's no real negative there, except when you can't get it, of course.
Yep. SE $10 super chat. Truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb. I upvote for this absolute top level watch talk, brothers. Thank you very much, SE. Appreciate that. We try our best. The news falls in our lap, and we just happen to have the best panel and the best audience in the business to cover it. So that's what it's all about. Like great people like PG jumping on. So I know you're busy. So when have you been told? Like, when's the last time you went to AP to talk about this? About your request for this particular piece?
Probably about a month ago. Yeah,
Gotcha.
It's the AP house in New York.
Huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let us know whenever you're in town. Happy to put together a dinner or whatever. Just let us know, and we'll celebrate with you whenever you come to pick it up.
What's great about them is they just ship it to me.
Ah, even better.
I love that.
I'm in Amish country, so to hook up the buggy, that's like a 2-day trip, dude. Buckley knows.
Without traffic.
Yeah, with traffic, it's like Oregon Trail situation
Right.
for me, to be honest.
Yep.
I may not make it.
Boston Collector says, "Wow, white gold blue dial, incredible." Yawn.
I don't understand. I gotta meet him in person. I gotta figure it out. I gotta know where this stick ends and where you.
Oh, you're funny, man. That's great stuff.
I can't. I just got to figure it out. Because for him not to jump on this panel right now and say how much he has a hard on for this watch is like insane. Because I know right now he has a chubby right now for this piece. I for sure know it. So for him,
listen, midnight last night he was one of the first.
Oh, for sure.
First people to contact his hey, can you give me the scoop on why this is a special edition? Is there this? I really love this blue. It reminds me of my grandfather. When we used to go walking on the beach in Nantucket, and the sky at the end of the day turned this blue, this dark dusky blue, and I can't. It really means so much to me to think of my grandfather if I could get this watch.
And now he's just playing it off like he doesn't care right now.
Exactly. He sent his essay a nice poem. Oh, blue is for that whole thing he said. He put on some nice letterhead, some cardstock.
What he's doing is reverse psychology. He doesn't want anybody else to reach out and request this watch.
God.
Boston last night before bed, I guarantee you, he got down next to his bed on his knees to pray. Oh yeah. And he's like, "I haven't talked to you in a while, but listen.
If I could only dream of my."
I need this.
a watch that's in a precious white gold that reminds me of the beautiful Milky Way galaxy with a dark royal blue with a fading to a black dusk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, blueberry scones and all for sure. He did all. At least
bringing the blueberry scones to the 80 this morning. That's right.
Yeah, he's already been there. He's been there twice already.
Let me tell you why I'm bringing blueberry. The dark blue and the sweetness of the blueberry. If they could if you guys could just embody that in a watch with the heft of these scones, like white gold.
I believe it. I believe it 100%. He went to the best bakery he could find. He got some scones and some muffins.
But the reason why Boston Collector is downplaying this, and it's something we need to address, is it is special edition, and they're making a fantastic watch, and nobody's going to be able to get it. And is that good or bad? I mean, I understand why you say it's good for the brand to have things that are super desirable, and they'll only make 2 per boutique, and only 2 people out of 150 people who want it are going to get it. I understand why that makes the brand hot and desired, but is that good? Is that good? That billionaires and successful collectors and legitimate enthusiasts have to fight like a Game of Thrones over each other to position themselves to get one of 2 pieces that might come in over the next year.
I mean, Vacheron's doing it with the 222.
Don't say it is how it is what it is.
Yeah, because
okay. So talk about the 222, PG.
Well, I think it's the same situation with that. I mean, it's technically quote unquote available, but I think the people that are normal human beings that aren't Boston, we're going to be waiting for a while if you wanted to really buy that. I mean, I wonder how limited this is. What does it mean? What does that even mean? Like the 222 is limited as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well,
the issue that I have with brands like Vacheron, and I'll lump in Langasone into this as well, because they did the same thing with Odysseus. And it's like 5 years ago, you would let me buy anything I could imagine from you. So now that we had a little bit of success, you put some makeup on, you lost a few pounds, you're looking cute. But I was taking you out when I was buying Bitcoin at 3,000, and now you're at 80,000, and you're looking at me like, oh well, you gotta buy. Because I say this because like I've had a few collectors, and one in specific, great relationship, wants to get this. They made a whole plan for him. Okay, you're gonna buy this. You're gonna buy this. They spent $200,000 of his money in their minds. And like they come back and they're like, maybe I don't know. And they say, hey, bro, 222s are going close to retails, the gold ones. Those blue ones will end up the same. By the end of this year, you'll be able to just hit CQ up, and I'll get you one probably close to retail. Next year under retail, depending how things go with the economy and everything like that. And I think it is such a waste of good inertia and goodwill to not let people just get on a normal list for that watch. Why don't you let people get Odysseus? Why does it have to be a game? Why does it have to be a fight when I'm trying to give you my money? And then the sad part is when things flip and everything's discounted, that's when they're gonna hit you with the chocolates, hit you with, hey, come on, I want to send you to Switzerland for Watches and Wonders. And by then you're annoyed and you're gonna deal with CQ, because CQ is gonna be sending you to the islands. We're gonna be doing all type of watchy treats. And guess what? I don't want you to jerk me off. I'm just gonna sell you the watch. You're already giving me money. I'm already making the money. I don't need the jerk off. It's such a weird thing. And you saw what happened with Langasone, right? They did it with the Odysseus. Then they did the Lumen pieces. They made people bundle for that. And slowly but surely, you saw big collectors say, I don't like that feeling. I was with you when you guys were nobody. Why are you like, what's going on? Why are you being like this with me? And it's happening with Vacheron as well. And it's like, hey, we're hot. The 222's hot. What's after the 222? The overseas retrograde is already on Chrono 24 at retail. All other overseas are already at retail or under retail. So tell me, why am I bundling? Why am I being forced to get a 222 when if I want to be patient, I could get it? So how about we just make an adult relationship here, and you say, hey, if you're a first client, buy one thing for your wife, but I'll put you on the list no matter what. This is your number. Give people a real roadmap to collecting instead of this weird game where you're jockeying for position. Because AP, let me tell you something. As much as we talk shit about AP, they still got the sauce, right? So they still have guys like Boston who's going to bring the scones and the tea and remember everybody's birthday and send them the chocolate and do all the things. And if they need a little hand job on the side, he'll do what he needs to do, right? And there are tons. And listen, I'll do everything but the hand job now. Listen, if I was an AP guy and these came out, for sure, I'm hitting up my essay. Hey, beautiful, how are you doing today? I'm sending some scones. I'm sending a bundt cake. I'm sending everything because this is a really dope watch. So I don't blame people like Boston at all. But AP and Paddock and Richard Mille have these people. When you're talking Vacheron, Langasone, and a lot of other brands who started to do this, those guys ain't there like that. You know what I mean? They're like not there like that. So you're gonna see this year, especially this thing. So I think with AP, they can get away with it. I don't like that they do things like this because you're just betting on this kind of manufactured exclusivity, which, like, I've been in the business for 13 years. In my first and second year, discounted APs all day,
Yeah.
Royal
Well,
Oaks all day, all
that's
day.
true.
I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know who you are. I didn't need to, you know what I mean? And even when I didn't sell APs, there's an AP boutique across from me. I'll say it, and people could walk in and get discounts on anything you wanted. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't have the short-term memory when it comes to collectors, because if I don't, and I haven't bought the watches, I just traded the watches. People who really have spent their hard-earned money on these watches, they remember how you used to be 10 years ago. And I think that's the dangerous thing with releases like this, and why it is a little bit of a big deal that more people don't know about it, because Boston and the Blueberry Gang are going to go in there and they're going to send their big goods. And by the time that this randomly appears on Hodinkee or something like that, you're going to tell me you don't want my bundt cake because I'm full. You're already blue with Blueberry. You're looking like the girl from Willy Wonka, and you didn't even give me the chance to give you ever stopping gobstopper or whatever. So that's the thing, you know, is that you got to even up the playing field a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not untrue. It's not untrue. I mean, I will say this though, at least with Vacheron, I think client service wise, they're very good and very nice.
For sure.
The tone at Vacheron seems to be. So I will say that.
No, they handle you nicely. But it's still like it's the same thing with F.E. Jordan, right? If you want to buy one of their CPO pieces, they don't give you the price. They kind of pre-commit you. They kind of pre-sell you, and they make you like send in an application for it and all these things. So by the time you hear the price, you kind of feel bad saying no. And then they send the watch to service. The watches aren't even already serviced. And I think that is just such a bad client experience. Why would you kind of force close me? I don't know the price. So then you kind of make me feel bad if I just don't come up with a six-figure sum immediately for you. Then you're going to send the watch for service. It's going to be at least a month. If there's no interruptions, then you got to ship it back. Hopefully there's no customs issues like that.
Well, that's the problem too. Then you got to fight with that.
Exactly. And that could be God forbid somebody puts a crocodile strap in there by accident. Right. Oh my gosh, I've lost watches for 6 months to the point where people are like, hey man, I know you stole my watch. I'm about to send legal information and I got to send them the customs report. I got to send them phone calls. Like it's not me. It's just somebody, who's new to the industry, packed the alligator. He thought it was a calf skin, and there's a CITES loss from the 70s and nobody wants to change. So it's stuck in customs. You know what I mean? So I think there's just like the overall experience. They give you a really good white glove touch when they start to handle you, but there's a squeeze that's happening. And I just don't like it. I don't like it because it's not needed in this industry. It's not needed at these levels of dollars, right? I'm not, you're not hawking Tissot's, you're not hawking Movados, you're not on a cruise ship. This is a luxury experience. You're spending a good chunk of change with me. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a billionaire who was born into it. You don't have to spend $50,000 with me. So I should make that like a smooth, nice, enjoyable experience. And there's a lot of brands out there who they'll start nice with you, but like in the middle, it gets weird. And if you don't know somebody like CQ, if you're not watching the Watch Colony, the original C channel, you just get taken advantage of. And then you meet somebody like us who are like, oh, how was your experience doing this? And it's like, you had experience and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry that you had that experience and you still spent $100,000. It shouldn't be like that. It should just always be like, they were amazing. We had great coffee. The watches were amazing. I waited a little bit. I got the watch. When I got the watch, it was champagne. It should just be flowers and roses, in my opinion.
Well, you're right. I mean, look, none of these things that we talk about are needed. Let's just be honest. I mean, in a real sense of life, it's not. So, and I think I own businesses, and I like to think that me and my staff don't do this, but it's the girlfriend thing, right? You have somebody and you got them, and then you kind of take advantage of that fact, and you don't realize it till they're gone type of deal.
Take them for granted.
You do. Yep. You take them for granted. And the problem is with this stuff, when you're talking, think about this Royal Oak, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. $65,000 before tax. Just think about that for a minute. What that means as an investment, buying in the S&P 500 and letting it sit there for 20 years. I mean, that the cost of that is more than 65,000. You know, and I don't know.
Yep.
So,
No. That's the thing. It's. I remember when Royal Oaks were like 16,000, 17,100 or something like that. So like when you have pieces like this, which is a white gold time only watch, 65 grand retail, they are going to charge you sales tax. The sales tax thing is kind of dwindling down unless you have a friend in New Hampshire, Delaware, or something like that. So you're paying close to 70-ish for this watch. I think you would want to feel good from the beginning to the end of the transaction and just enjoy the watch. Like, you know, like when you say the numbers, and I try so much not to think about the numbers, but when you say the numbers, now I don't even want to send you a bundt cake. I'm already giving you 65. I want the fucking bundt cake.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be let Boston send the fucking scones or whatever. I want to come in. I want a blueberry bundt cake that says CQ loves blue, and I want in the shape of a
well, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I only talk about this because I remember, like, you know, when I started, man, you could have been buying a Nixon for $75 and you would have had such an, like, if you had kids, the kids were on the iPad playing video games. If you like to drink, I'm getting you drunk before you hit the beach. I'm sending you with a case of Heineken in your taxi for like a Nixon. I'm spending my own money to the liquor store. Hey, take this bottle, enjoy it on the beach, hit this guy, he'll make the drinks for you. You know what I mean? So like when I see like, you know, so for imagine when you spend 100 grand with me, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? You're getting a restaurant by the water just cause like, thank you so much for like, you know, appreciating me to spend that money on your vacation with me. You don't know me from anybody. I'm just this fast talking guy from the islands. Thank you so much. How can I make sure you get the JJ tonight? You know how many times no, for real, that was like, hey, you did a big sale. I go to your side like, hey, listen, do you need a bottle of wine? What is she like? How can we make her feel special? Because I want you to have an amazing rest of your vacation. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a real thing. That's a real thing a lot of us do down there because we care so much that you gave us your money. That's how much we treasured that transaction. So for me, I get very turned off when I hear these stories of like people jockeying and the Blueberry Gang and all these things because it's like, I remember just like, man, you could have got a bottle of Black Label off of me for a tag Formula One. You know what I mean? Like I bought Blue Labels for Chopard Millamiglia. Hey, man, hey, enjoy it. Enjoy the trip, brother. You know what I mean? Like, so when I see things like this and I know how it is, I'm like, listen, if I was in a position right now to hunt APs, I definitely would have got a bundt cake. I'm definitely that corny guy who'd hey guys, I saw you didn't release anything, but you know, I noticed, here's a little blueberry bundt cake for you. Just keep me in your thoughts. And it's like, it sucks that this is a world that we live in right now.
Yeah, but I'll tell you. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You go.
Well, I was just going to say, and honestly, you look at, there are some stress fractures in the economy. There's stuff going on around the world. You've got tariff conversation. I mean, it's going to get tough here. I mean, it already is. You can see the watch market. You can see the prices. And that's why you should only buy this stuff if you absolutely can take that money and burn it. And it doesn't matter to your life.
Yes. Especially in 2025. That's probably the best advice anybody could hear in watches right now. The market is in such a soft state. People are buying watches are trading, but it's in such a soft state that if something happens with the economy on a macro level, a lot of brands are just gonna, you know, you like Tudor, you already seen that. The Zenith also talks about it. PG said about it. I wouldn't be surprised if Zenith puts an announcement that, hey, you only buy from us online. You know, Jackie Droz did it. That's a much smaller brand, but that shows you that a big group like Swatch Group said, hey, we figured out how to do it. And we'll just give you a website and you order from us, but we're going to stop shipping watches out because we can't stop leaking money. And if there's a sharp correction in the market where people are just like, hey, I don't want to buy, the 80s aren't going to be able to help but start discounting. And as soon as it starts, it will not stop. Yep. As soon as that levy breaks with discounting, I've seen it so much. because I was
Yep.
born in discounting, right? In the Caribbean, all we do is discount, right? And I've seen how one guy who just couldn't hold his fucking nuts made everybody lose 20 grand that day because, you know, people are shopping for diamonds or maybe a certain watch that multiple stores has. And they say, hey, you want to go high, but all it takes is that one AD who has 4 to 5 bill collectors calling them. And he's like, man, this is where the real gray market comes back, right? When you like somebody called me a gray market dealer, I'm not a gray market dealer. The term gray market is used too loosely, right? Gray market means somebody sold me watches from an AD or a dealer, and then I'm selling that watches as new or like new product, right? That's a gray market dealer. That doesn't happen as much, but you're going to see it slowly start to come back because guys going to need to pay bills.
Right,
And that's
they're
where
gonna-
it came from. Yeah, you
Joe
got to pay your
Shop,
bills.
right?
Yeah, come on. You know what Joma Shop offers you? Cash money. Cash money, baby. Pay your bills. You want to pay your bills today? Hey, just send it. I'll hold the warranty cards for you. Don't worry. Nobody's going to even find out. So you know how hard that is? You know, 2 years ago, oh, you don't take that call. You hang up the phone. You hang up the phone. But today, you got to check the dial every day before, maybe I just sell you and you're going to start with the Citizens. You're going to start with the fashion watches. But then you're going to be like, hey, you know, I got some Breitlands. I got some Omegas. They keep sending me the Omegas. Because remember, you know, what we don't realize as consumers is how these brands operate, right? You take a brand like Breitland, who I love wholeheartedly. You sell a Breitland, they're shipping you a Breitland. You know what I mean? So you're paying immediately. It's like a credit card, that electronic warranty system. You sell a watch, all of a sudden, new watch right there. You're on auto order, basically. So you don't even have the time to use your capital. They're already using your capital for you. So when, you know, if they're, you know, God forbid, I don't want it, right? But if there's you're going to see a lot of watch brands really have to restructure themselves. You're going to see retail prices maybe come down. But the real thing to look for is when your favorite AD pulls you to the side and offers you a 5%. When that happens, you know that the tidal wave has begun.
Yeah.
It has to have already begun. I mean,
For sure.
Richemont, it's the last 2 weeks, the last week of Richemont's fiscal year this week. They're pushing as many watches to the distribution network as possible.
Yep.
All the dealers are going to be flooded with pieces from Vacheron and all those Richemont brands. And we shall see, like, over the next 2 quarters, how they get rid of this absolute flood. And it's not just them; it's LVMH and others.
Everybody.
Everybody is. People are being very critical about the watches that they buy. They're not just adding to the collections; they're consolidating. They're just being very, very careful about what they want. Look at PG, very, very discerning. Listen, I want stainless steel. I want this size. I want that color.
Okay, well, on this instance, I am, but you know, I buy probably too many times, but
but you're,
I hear you.
You know, you're following your passion. You're following your taste. You know, I like I think OC's referring to. In the past few years, there were collectors who you could just call them, sell them, call them, sell them. You know, and now everybody's like, well, I want to buy what I want to buy, because there's no real incentive of just saying yes anymore. There used to be kind of incentive. Hey, I'm going to sell you a Daytona. You could flip that, make 15 grand back. Like that used to be going on. Now it's like the incentives aren't there as much. So real savvy collectors are back. People like who are listening to this video, you know, and this stream. Those are the people who are buying, and they're not saying yes to everything.
No, you're right about that. That is, I mean, it is, because money is a finite resource too. I mean, and you know, you can get into all the COVID talk, which has been discussed 9,000 times, but when interest rates are significantly higher and money isn't free flowing as it was, they have to work a lot harder to get these sales.
Oh, yeah. COVID was man, I could write a movie about that, like the COVID market from a watch sense, because I say it all the time, because I came back from Dubai on the second to last plane to leave for the US. I was coming back. I went to PA. PA was in quarantine. It looked like a zombie movie. They put me in a little Airbnb they had there, and I remember talking to people like, "Hey, nobody ain't buying watches no more, bro. Like what we sell is luxury. This is like zombies going on. We're gonna have to take take a pay cut. I did, right? I did take a pay cut because I was thinking like, hey, it's done. It's watches. I was happy they were keeping me on. I was like, oh, because I just came back from Dubai. So I was kind of like a dangling piece there where like I was in between. So I was like, oh God, thank you for even keeping me on. I know this is such a weird thing. And we lowered the prices. And I just remember we just sold so much. We sold so much that we had a call like within a week, like, hey, we're buying again. We need to buy. And the market just went into like a place that even people who've been there forever didn't know what was going on, to the point when I came back to Dubai, it was just like exploding. Everything was exploding and everybody was buying everything. So it was a point where I understand it was easy to get drunk. It was easy to get drunk.
Dude, if you think about it, like just as a human being, if somebody would have told you there's going to be a once in 100-year pandemic, okay, everything's going to shut down. Okay, there's going to be massive layoffs. All right, the watch industry is going to go through the roof. I don't understand. What do you mean? How do you get like A plus B doesn't equal that? How did we get there?
It made
crazy.
No, like I can't explain how there was zero logic. And then we're like, okay, well, there's a little bit more, spending because people didn't go on vacation. So like we did everything we could to like kind of make it work in our brain. And like, I guess so, but like, I'm telling you, like, even the smartest guys in the room were just like, I guess so. Cause I'm a guy, I ask questions. I go to like, I go to Danny Garber, I go to Mike Manjos, I go to like every senior person. I'm just like, man, what do you think? And I'm in Dubai, and they're just like, man, I don't know. They tried. They would start to try with logic, and then halfway through, it's just like, listen, we just gotta Just monitor the market. Let's see what's going up. But there was a time where you could have bought a Daytona on Monday, sold it on Friday, buy it again on Monday, sell it again on Friday, and you just eating 20% every week without thinking, without having any logic. You could have sold it and I had clients do this. They would buy a watch from me, wait 2 weeks, sell it back to me, and I'd sell it back to them. And like it didn't matter to me because like the value was just climbing at such a rapid pace. But of course, eventually, as you're like, a year and a half through and you're seeing, Daytona's going for 60 grand, you're just like, this can't be real, right? This can't be real.
Can you
slowly go ahead?
CQ, how many people do you talk to now? And thank God I wasn't one of them, but how many people do you talk to that are like, dude, I need to move on from these pieces. I bought at the height of the market. I bought this Daytona for like 58,000. Like, how many people do you experience in your life that talk to you about that?
That's a very tough question because like
that'd be depressing as hell.
There's a collector who's like one of my best clients and a good friend, and I put him into a lot of overseas. I put him into a lot of paddock. I put him into a lot of hype pieces and some nice funky ones too. But he really loved the hype, man. So I put him into a lot of stuff. And when it was time, he was like, hey, like I want to move on. Because somebody who always traded frequently. No matter what, he was always like a big trader, right? And at the time, these pieces were like, hey, if you buy them, I'm getting you a decent deal. If the market just stays steady, it should be okay. But like, especially the Vacherons, he's taking a big hit on. And, so he's like, hey, time to buy, and of course, the companies I'm working with at the time, they're not buying. And then I moved to a different company. They don't buy the funky stuff that he likes. So then, of course, it makes me look like, hey, man, you were so eager to take my money. You were so eager. You were so happy to take this business from me. And now we're in my situation where I need you to cash me out. And he's an easy person. He'd have let me, he would have took some big hits, no problem. But these companies just say, hey, we don't want to buy. We don't even want to offer right now. So when that's the issue, is when you go from a person who's like, hey, you should buy all of this. And then when the flip time comes saying, hey, I don't even want to give you 5 cents on the dollar, it ruins relationships, right? And it's just a part of the game. And unfortunately, there are collectors who probably don't want to hear my voice at all. But there are tons of collectors who totally understand. And listen, everybody who I sold watches to during that market, and they asked me the question, what do you think? I told them the same. I was like, this is a market where nothing makes sense. Only Jordan kind of made sense, and independence made sense to me because there was true limitations to production. But when it came to like AP and Paddock and stuff, it was like, hey, like if you love it, buy it. But like financially, I can't say this is the wisest of decisions. Now with that collector, maybe a couple of times I did say, I felt at the time like, hey, you should be able to get at least your money back. So with him, I feel particularly bad. But anybody could see what was going on. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, like you got to take some self responsibility though as a buyer. Like,
yeah, of course.
I mean, anybody who thought, that's why I own 2 Rolexes. I have a sub that I've had for probably 15, 16 years. I have a Oyster Quartz, right? So thank God I didn't buy into the Daytona hype or the anything hype. But if you're a buyer and you're buying a product with a company that makes over $1 million of said thing,
yes,
and you don't think that there's a risk there of just simple economics of supply and demand at some point, everything comes to the mean. It's like when you watch the NFL, you get a backup that comes in, he plays well for like 3 weeks. Yep. He will show you why he's a backup. Just wait.
100%.
Just wait. It's going to happen. Rarely do you get these Darnold situations, which I'll be honest with you, Darnold, you wait, you watch what'll happen, now that he's moved on. But my point is, who didn't think, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't have a lot of sympathy. I feel bad as a person, but as an adult, what did you think was going to happen?
I think you're absolutely right. And I, to be honest, I only feel bad about that one particular client, right? Because like we had a really good relationship and I sold him, he's actually a big football guy as well. And like he's the one client where like every once in a while I'll text him like, hey man, I know you hate my guts. I still love you. If you ever just want to talk about watches,
that's unfair, man. That's really unfair.
No. Listen, it's fine. But that's a one guy. That's a one guy who I have true sympathy for, because I understand, because I didn't even allow an exit, right? I just said no, I can't help you at all, because in that situation I could have. But you're absolutely 1000% right that there are a lot of people out there who forgot that they were adults and they believed what some random salesperson said. This is going to be worth X forever. And I never sell on value. I never sell on value. And a lot of people sold on, hey, look, you look at Chrono 24. You see what it's going for. You're going to be able to get X out of it. And a lot of people, I could tell you, our whole, when I was at 1916, you could see the whole, I don't know how to say, the collector base shifted at once. And like you used to have conversations that were like very watch nerdy and what's your first watch and why do you love watches? And then it became straight like I was a Morgan Stanley guy. Like, hey, what's your outlook? What's your forecast? It was a lot of those words, a lot of forecasting, and I was just like, bro, like I remember when this was all discounted. You know what I mean? That's why I keep telling people. I remember, like I used to discount all these. Like this was, the Daytona was a watch you maybe paid a little bit more for, but like, I remember discounting everything. So to me, we're in foreign land, but there were too many people who said, oh, wow, this is like crypto. This is a little bit of a business. I can leverage this. And I met so many people, man. I'll never forget one of the last deals, potential deals I did in Dubai. This guy comes with me with a VC, fully in the box, just an overseas black dial. I buy it. And his eyes lit up because we were one of the last people to still be buying. He came the next day with like the most beautiful AP collection I ever saw. Everything new, every 50th anniversary. Really? And then he was like, listen, brother, I need to sell these watches. And I'm like, hey, bro, you should one by one sell these. These are good pieces. I know the market's weird, but like privately you could do it. He said, bro, I have loans on these. I borrowed money for these. And like in that culture, in Arabic culture, that's haram. You don't do loans, you don't do credit. But that is how much the mentality infected people. That people who never even would have touched debt, that is truly against their nature. That they were like, man, too much people are making money on watches. There's no way I could lose. And when I tell you, I probably have that picture somewhere. And he was so nice. He gifted me a watch box because like I had to have like a really deep conversation about like, you're not getting that money. That money that you think you're getting it's not. It was like one of the most hard. I had to leave like right after that because I just saw at least $1 million, especially at that time, because just all unique pieces and this and that. And it was just like, bro, even if
did you buy any of it?
No. We had too much. That's the thing, is AP was the first sign. AP was when I knew something was wrong, because I had APs making birthdays. Making birthday means I had an AP for a full year on the website. So I track what I buy, right? So I never want to buy stuff that's gonna be on the website for over a year, because that means I bought it too high or something. And APs are something you usually buy, and once they're up on the website, after the service, blah blah blah, it's up on the website, 90 days, 120 days, 4 months, you should turn your APs. Maybe 6 months, 9 months, it's a concept or a tourbillon or something like that. I had a rose gold black dial up there for a year, and I was like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And then we had so many, not only us, but so many dealers had these huge, big AP perpetuals, and it's just sitting. You're not getting offers on them. You're not even getting, 20% under offers. You're getting 50% off offers. You're getting, hey, let me know when you guys need the money. I'll take this for nothing from you. And it's when it's real, when they're on the call, the sales call, and they're like, hey, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to those guys who said call me when you need it, because maybe we can offer some people some great deals right now. And so with AP, you saw it first. So when he offered me those pieces, we just couldn't buy it. We just had pretty much one of everything we had. He had already, the prices he wanted was crazy, and we just weren't comfortable stocking too much. At that time, we only had 250 7-Elevens on the website. We had less than 20 Nautilus in the company total available for sale. Same with Aquanaut. We saw it. That's one thing I'll always give the team at 1916 credit for, is like very, very smart people and very, very adaptive to the market. And it was just very clear at a certain point that this is not sustainable. And I always say, people started to buy, dealers were buying watches from us off of eBay. So, when you get to that stage, right? When a dealer who knows who you are, who knows if they call you and haggle with you, you will save them the eBay fees, right? If they don't even care about that to make a phone call,
it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter, right? They got a few eBay coupons or whatever, so they're just taking like $1,000 off when they could have probably called and squeezed us for $5,000. So when I start seeing that, when it's just dealers, like our eBay guys are crushing it, and it's just dealers, I'm like, yeah, this is all not a pyramid scheme, but it's a house of cards, And then we saw what happened. It was insane.
Yeah, it's interesting times.
Yeah,
PG, this is for you. This is a member of the community that has this piece, and I wanted to share the picture with you. Good luck.
That's awesome. I just like the way that looks proportionately. I just think it looks better on 7 inches and down than a 41, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I like that. That's a nice piece. I like the date wheel matches with the color of the dial. I just like the way it looks. I love light blue, so that'll be the next one I buy for sure.
Also, check this out. The just released moments ago, the Federation of Swiss Watches has released the data for the month of February. And it's not looking good, guys. For the month of February, shipments to the United States were down 6.7% year over year for the month of February. Wow. And if you look at some of the other markets there, Hong Kong down 12.5%, China down 25% in February. You can see the from 2023 all the way on the far right column, February 2023 numbers. USA down 1.6, Hong Kong down 29%, China down 43%.
Wow. China's in trouble, guys. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
It ain't coming back. I keep telling people that, like that Chinese luxury market, it ain't coming back. The ones who will spend, they're not spending in mainland China. They're spending in their other places of residence.
Yep. And here are the numbers for combined January and February. So far this year, the first 2 months of the year, USA up 4.2, Hong Kong down 12.2, China down 27% year over year, year to date. Yeah.
It's a horror show.
Yeah,
It
this
is
is
a clusterfuck.
this is this is so it's just so interesting because many brands bet so heavy on mainland China and Hong Kong. Even 1916 opened up an office over there, right? And it's just to see the explosion in decrease there. You know, it's just like it has to hurt so many brands so much because they sent so much inventory. They went through all the hoopla that is doing business out there. So it's just like, and then the watches that they were making were very tailored towards those markets
Right.
as well.
The
So
Asian market.
exactly. So that's where focusing too much on certain regions will bite you. And of course, the U.S. is going to still lead there, but I think for certain brands like Longines, they're lower in brand, but like they're all China. So it's like you're crying right now. And I can imagine there are other brands that like if this is just February, I can't imagine summertime. I can't imagine the summertime
Oh,
numbers.
right. Good point. Yeah. Can you imagine the summertime? Oh man, it's going to be,
It's going to be
rough.
it's going to be so brutal.
To play devil's advocate, Boston's point, which he's stated many times, is that rich people who are buying Swiss luxury watches are smart enough to know that things are bad in China, and what they're doing is they're picking up things up out of the country where the prices are cheaper. So they're going to Japan.
Where are they
other
going
places.
though? So like I love Boston a lot. Don't get me wrong, I do, but the numbers don't back that up. Look at Japan, it's down 19%. Look at Singapore, it's down 12%. Look at USA, it's down 6%. Look at like where are they going? That may be true to a point, but overall, when you look at the macro level, it's undeniable what's happening here.
Yeah. I think for if you're a Chinese national as well, they've been getting a little bit more tighter on the customs, right? So if you go and do big shopping outside and come back, I think they're being a little bit more like Switzerland and France, where like and Canada, where they know what's going on, they know what the watches are. You got to report because you're correct. If he was right in that they're still spending outside, you would see much less of an increase in the UAE. You'd see much less of an increase in Japan. You'd see much less of an increase in Singapore. Those three for sure, along with the USA, would be bumped up because the UAE is one of the easiest places to travel, spend money. Like it's very, very easy to do your luxury spending over there without the hassles. It's super safe. So a lot of international clientele go over there, especially like mainland Chinese who go over there and they spend heavy. You don't hear about it, but if you're in that market, you know what's going on. So I think some people are, especially if they already had roots in the US and in other countries.
True.
But if you're somebody who is making a lot of money in mainland China, you really don't want to be seen with wealth right now. They're going through that, keep it on the low type of situation now, where nobody's gonna wear a big watch. Nobody's gonna, Journe's and thing will do well because Journe is still like, what's a Journe? And I think another whatever under the radar independent will do well over there because they can wear these things. It's a signal to other people of that taste level, what it is, but your average person won't know what it is. But I think right now they're going through that state of like, we're not going to spend so much. We don't want to be as showy. So I just don't see that culture coming back anytime soon because there's just so much things that we as Westerners don't know about that's going on over there. Where it's the same thing in Middle East, right? It's like if a trend happens or something happens where it's like, hey, we need to be a little bit more discreet. Everybody will stop buying watches there. It's just that they're not in that situation. But if something happens where there was like some type of decree or some type of like, hey, we think we need to be a little bit more under the radar. Let's hold back on our stuff. Let's do things a little bit differently. I don't know what would cause that. But if that was the vibe, trust me, you would see people there not spend as much on certain things. You know what I mean? So it's that type of thing where the culture is dictating the buying behavior. Just like previously, the culture dictated buy, be brandy, be flashy, show off your luxury. We're experiencing prosperity. We should show it off. So it's hard to gain back that footing. It's independence will do okay, but I really don't see, I think the country still, they have money, whatever, but I don't see their spending habits changing, at least in the next year or so.
And Boston's probably right. Like two things can be true at the same time. It's not enough to sway clearly. I mean, China's got a lot of problems. We'll just leave it at that. There's a lot of problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Guys, if you're just tuning in, breaking news, AP has dropped 4 special edition watches in the dead of night, a secret, including this incredible smoked blue, royal oak, and white gold, $65,000 special edition. I don't know, but I think Boston, like I get confused a little bit by Boston's point. He says, like, in a way, like, this is nothing. It's not a great watch, so don't sweat it. It's like this is normal for them to kind of like you won't be able to get it, so it's kind of a nothing burger. On the other hand, it's like other people will say this is like a fantastic release. You should be celebrating it. You should be playing it up. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, the way they dropped this watch in the dead of night, in secret, burying it with the rest of the releases. Are they not proud of it? Are they signaling that that this doesn't exemplify the AP brand? Are they not happy with this release? Or is it the flip side? Is it they think this is a great watch, but they're concerned that they don't want people to think that they're going to get it? I think either way, it's a big fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very interested because we're only at 12:30. So I'm very interested by the end of the day if we see any posts about this. I feel like somebody somewhere will see this, like me, I might make a little Instagram on it. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. But if no Fratello, no time zone is the one that's really troubling to me, because time zone is a place where everybody kind of just sends
They're getting paid by this guy, you know.
Yeah,
this is what they're talking about.
Listen, I would take this check just for anybody. Like I would like if Jean calls me and say, "Hey, you want to go to Thailand?" Yeah, bro. Like so that's the thing is, like, you know, I hate that the watch world is here, but it's weird because, like, I know people want to hate him, but if you were gonna do what he's trying to do, he's doing it the absolute right way. You know, like you hate that it's nepotism, you hate that he's so young, but he's actually doing it. He's using the money the way it should be used if you're trying to turn that brand and that manufacturer into something very, very legendary in 20 years.
Look what he's doing. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to monopolize the airwaves, to monopolize the printed media, to monopolize social media. So now you have all these guys doing nothing but talking about, Waco did I don't know if you saw his story from yesterday, but basically he was looking at that awful blue ceramic and goes, "Oh, Jean, it's superb." It's like, no, it's not. It's a piece of shit. It looks like plastic garbage. Like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
I didn't care.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's like the way they suck these guys' dicks. It's like, for the free trips is so blatant and transparent. It's like, why don't they just come out and say, "Listen, you paid me $5,000 to fly out here, so I'm going to tell you I think this watch looks nice." But they can't. It's a sham. Everybody knows what's going on with Hodinkee and these guys, and I think it's why they've lost so much credibility over the last 5 years. That people are relying on peer-to-peer social media and watch social clubs and watch groups with their friends to form their opinions, rather than to rely on corporate media who are getting bought out left and right. Like, look at this thing.
Yeah, but again, you send me to you send me to Thailand. I'm taking the. But I wouldn't be as glowingly loving of the. You know, especially if I had that AP on, like I wouldn't take this particular shot for sure.
But let me ask you this, CQ. Just correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm sure if you did take that trip, you would probably say something like the following: "Hey, everybody, want to take a minute here just to say I got flown out here by said brand.
Yes.
Check out this." Like, I think
Yes.
to Osti's point, I think sometimes that is very blurred. And I also am a libertarian guy, so I don't know if I care, but I do feel there's something that I do feel about it. I just think ethically, being in business, it's probably never a good idea to not be honest with your audience or your consumer.
I agree.
at the same time, I think, again, I go back to we have to be grown adults. We have to also put 2 and 2 together and have some common sense too at the same time. And I think, the people like us that are very involved in it, we can see and read between those lines, but maybe for the people that aren't as engaged, they're just like, oh, this is the greatest watch ever. I don't know how I feel. I would imagine you would probably make it clear, like, hey, listen, I'm giving my honest opinion here, but I was flown out here to take a look at this stuff. So,
Yeah, because you're spot on, because the problem that we have in 2025 is that the way the information is received and delivered is so different than before. I know Waco from Revolution magazine, from the best print magazine I think that was out. Just a big, thick catalog with some of the best pictures. So when I see Waco, I know he is a paid advertisement guy, because I know what he produced. I know what but still he has some of the best writing. There's so many things that I love about it, but I never take him as somebody who's giving me 100% of what I think, because I know he's in the publication.
He's a salesman.
Right. Exactly. But
which is fine.
Exactly. But today in 2025, if somebody just stumbles upon him on Instagram, they may think he's just a socialite or just a big collector. They might just be like, oh wow, this big collector really loves this watch so much. So you're right, they might take his word differently than they should, because like, hey, of course he might really feel this way about the watch, but also know his whole livelihood is part of it. You know what I mean? Right. So you got to take that grain. So yeah, I definitely, I'm very careful. Like if I'm paid, I always say it, and like I don't get paid, right? If I do, I will. But because people do listen to me, and I didn't realize that at first.
That's it. It's a trust issue.
Exactly. But people do, like, they'll meet me and say, hey, I bought a PRX because you keep talking about a PRX. I bought this watch because you talked about it. I bought Omega because I saw you on the Classroom 5 years ago. So when I realized that, is that, oh, I need to be very careful in like, and I'm somebody who can find something to love about every watch, but I try my best to be like somewhat subjective and give like a real opinion, because like at the end of the day, my job is to advise you to buy, sell, trade, right? So I'm not in the media business. If I do something media wise, it's great, but my main income, even like if everything goes amazing, will not be from brand deals. That'll just be like, oh, I got a free trip, I got to go here, I got a entry into Watches and Wonders, but I don't expect right now to get a lot of money from a brand. And that's also, man, not that we say that, behind the scenes, a lot of brands are not willing to pay anymore, right? A whole economy, it's a little bit of insider baseball, but a whole economy was forming, right? Of these like these influencer types. And it's so funny that I'll give David SW credit for this. He told me, you know what's so funny about the watch industry? It always seems to be 3 to 4 years behind when it comes to marketing. And it's so true, because as heavy as everybody started to like, all these watch brands went into influencer marketing, you saw a lot of major brands kind of walk away from that, right? And what happened is all these brands had much bigger budgets that they're willing to give people. And I'm not saying anything about any larger brands, but just brands as a whole, even micro brands and things like that. They had a lot of money shelling out to people like, oh, wow, you got a big following. Hey, take this, you could take this. So when I found out about it, I sell watches, right? So that's where I make my money. So I'm just trying to get a trip. I'm just trying to get like a ticket. So when somebody was like, hey, bro, you're not asking XX, I'm like, what? They're giving you this for what? I'm like, like what? What am I doing? You know what I mean? I'm like, what?
It's shameful. It's disgraceful, CQ. Right. And listen, these corporate media types have been paying off these publishers and these the quote unquote impartial editorial teams for too many years, and it's time that we call it out. There's only one reason Ben Clammer was handed a $200,000 check from Rolex when he got that Le Mans. It's not just everybody does it. It's wrong. There's no way he should have gotten that watch over people who really deserved it. And these guys are getting paid with junkets, with dinners, with trips, with watches. They're getting preferred access to the brand. They're getting watches worth far over retail. And it's shameful and it's disgusting. And we need to put an end to it. And we need to stop people getting these thousands of dollars on the side for these side deals to promote brands that they don't believe in.
So that the last part is where I don't think there's anything wrong. I think what Louis Vuitton did was a smart way to market, and that's how you should market. I do think that we need to even it out a little bit, and like if you're doing something dope, has like I'm not talking about Louis Vuitton when I say this because I've seen the events they do for their collectors, and they do go all the way. Right. But there are other brands who, if you're going to do something really nice for the journalists and all the influencers, you should also give that access to not only collectors who spend a lot of money with you, but maybe newer collectors and embrace the communities that way. Because what happens is it's very easy to see this and be very negative because it's like, damn, you flew all these guys to Thailand. You're not showing off the collectors who I'm sure they also did send like some very high profile collectors there, but the average consumer doesn't know that. So the average consumer sees this and they're just like, wow, you're flying all these guys out there to Thailand. They're all just loving their watches. Obviously, you're your LV, so it's the best hotels, blah, 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 blah. So for 20 grand each person out there. So you see that, and it's hard not to be like, damn, we're the collectors. We're the guy who loves it. Even though I know in the case of LV for sure, they're there and they're having an amazing time. Those type of clients who just don't want to be seen and they don't want to be used in marketing. But I think it's a balancing act, right? Because if you're a journalist, right, I'm very lucky in that I sell watches and there's a lot of different ways I can make money from what I do. But if I was just a journalist, right, I would have the only way I could really make money. Look at Tim Masso. Tim is in such a beautiful place because he can just be himself, right? He can just be himself, and he's just like he doesn't need it. If you see him doing like something a little bit extra, it's because he really, really wants to, or somebody had to get on their knees and beg him to do it and stuff like that. So it's a double-edged sword because of course you want it to be a little bit more cleaned up, but I don't know. I don't know the right answer to it.
You can't win.
I'm taking a trip to Thailand.
Well, you can't win because it's like the band that is like this loved underground band, right? Everyone loves this band. Now they're fucking mainstream, man. And it's like, well, what do you want them to do? I do get it. I just think as long as you're clear about it, is all that matters. But it is hard. There's no winning in these things. There's no winning.
You just wish these people could tell the truth. Like if they saw an ugly watch,
an opinion, right?
Yeah, yes.
Them an opinion.
Right.
And
now that's where you have a problem. Yeah.
Now is an excellent time to remind everybody that this show is proud partners with Cased in Time, and you have special access to the 20% off promo code Original OC. Check out casedintime.com. These are absolutely phenomenal cases. Now, it's true that I'm getting paid over $1 million a month from Cased in Time to promote the brand. But listen, I think these are great cases, and that's why I can say with a straight face that I think you guys should go to casedintime.com. Listen, would I let $1 million influence me? No, I wouldn't. I don't think there's any amount of money that would allow me to be influenced to promote a brand I don't believe in. So sure, am I getting paid an astronomical amount of money to mention Cased in Time and for you to visit their website, casedintime.com, and use the promo code Original OC for 20% off your order? Sure, but it's a great, great product.
So OC, question for you. Would you have accepted an invitation to Thailand?
No. Me personally, I do not accept gifts from brands or retailers or anybody in the watch industry.
Okay.
That's just a hard rule that I have to follow because if I do, then it's a slippery slope. This is an entertainment channel and I'm independently wealthy. So I have the flexibility of saying no. And I want to be able to trash Tudor or to trash Oris or do all of those things. And I think when those people, and you see some of the influencers in our space, people on Instagram and other, they get paid to go to Atlanta to visit Oris, or they get paid to go to Miami for deluxe or whatever, all the stuff. And I think that's wrong. They should be disclosing to their audience that they're getting paid. I agree. And of course, I am 100% kidding. I haven't received a penny from Cased in Time. They've offered me free stuff. I've turned it down. We'll send you free cases. I said no. So like you guys know that if I'm talking about case, I said, listen, I want the 20% to go all to the audience. So
that's dope.
That's where it's going.
See, I think that's nice. I think that's admirable, and I wish there was
And animal. It's very animal of me too.
Yeah, it is very animal. I wish there was a way for more journalists to be in the watch space more, be more independent or find different ways to get revenue. I think a big thing is a lot of them don't know how to make money in different ways, right? There's so many ways you can make money in this field, whether it be Substack or whatever, that you don't have to like always take the things. But it is so easy to take, like, like I'm really trying to think, like, if I got the email right now, hey, LVMH would love to invite you to Thailand. I don't know. I don't know if I could say I would say no.
I can't do it.
No?
Listen, I as much as I would love for Wempe or Bucherer or
What if it was a brand that you liked? Like, hey, OC, you could
take the money.
Say whatever.
Nope.
No money. We're just gonna.
I can't.
We're just gonna leave this package here.
No, can't do it.
No,
I think part of the problem too, guys, is, and I'm in my 40s. I know, see, you're,
well into my 50s.
Yeah. But my point is, if you remember in the 90s, especially and earlier on, there is a cultural shift in the world. I think people are so afraid of being bluntly honest at this point. And I think culturally in America, that's shifting for some obvious reasons at the moment. But I think that in the old days, like food critics, they would want these restaurants, these Michelin star, these, highly rated restaurants, they wanted that food critic that was an absolute dick to come out, because it was a true test of what they were putting out. And if they believed in their brand, they believed in their product, they knew if they got a good review from that person, it actually meant something. And I think now culturally, worldwide, we have such a problem with not being honest with each other because of our sensitivities. I think that's part of the problem here too, is where you get this untrusting problem. Like somebody goes out and looks, oh, this is the best. Oh, this is amazing. It's like, not everything is amazing. And what happens is the consumer, the person watching that has half a brain, they're not dumb. They recognize that and they go, well, not everything can be great.
I know. And when Waco goes, Jean, this is superb. It's like, get the fuck out of here. This is not superb. You fucking dick. Just be honest. Just like, or don't do a video and say that. It sucks. So anyway, guys, we've been going for over 3 hours. The breaking news today. I want to thank Buckley and CQ PG for jumping on today. The big news today is AP quietly dropped 4 new special editions, including this smoked blue, white gold. It's on the website. It's buried there somewhere. There's no news announcements, no press releases. Monochrome isn't covering it. Hodinkee sure isn't. Revolution is that they're too busy partying in Thailand right now, talking about the Louis Vuitton, to talk about great watches from AP, but we're covering it here. And thanks to you guys for tuning in. And listen, I know 50 people watching. You have an amazing Thursday, and we'll catch you back later today or maybe tomorrow on the OC channel. Thanks all you guys for tuning in. Peace out. Have a good one.
See ya.
Yeah, great stream.